We're going live.
All right. Waiting for that green light. Waiting for the light to turn green. And hopefully that new stream key worked, and it did. What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet for content creators to learn about YouTube, get to know each other, and have an amazing time doing it. Today, I'm Nick, by the way, and I'm joined by my brother from the same mother, D. D, how are you?
Man, I'm great. By the way, I just want to say this is the first time we've ever done a stream at this time.
It is this hour, this early morning for our local time. Like this is new.
This is 1 p.m. our time.
Yeah.
Over here in Asia, 1 p.m. We have never
ever
even considered going live
at this time
of the day. Usually I'm like sleeping or just waking up at the crack of noon.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
Yep. Or the crack of later noon.
What's going on, everybody? I see Scully's House of Thrillers.
What is up? Nice to see you in here.
How's
Just
going?
Eddie, what is going on? Nice to see you in here as well. I hope you had an amazing time. Edie, sorry. Man, it's early. Typically, we blame it on being late, but this time I'm going to blame it on being early. Right? Modern Day Tech in the house. What is going on, my man? Nice to see you in here as well.
El Jefe is in the house.
El Jefe, what's up, boss? Tom Nash, what's up, dude? So basically, we got back from Vid Summit. We spent like a couple of weeks over in the States, and we had an awesome time all the way around. We're going to talk about all of that. We're also going to answer your YouTube questions. So if you have a question that you want answered about what it is that you are doing on YouTube, make sure that you put it in the form that is down below this video. Right now, it's down in the video description. All you have to do is go down there, click on the form, and then you can just put in the information in terms of your question and the details about your question and so on, so that we can make sure that we answer them, we get them in the order that they are received. I also want to let you know that this stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 browser plugin for YouTube content creators. TubeBuddy will help you learn how to optimize your YouTube videos. It'll help you test your thumbnails. It'll help you manage your channel as a whole and all of the other awesome stuff that you can use as a YouTube content creator. So if you don't have TubeBuddy installed yet, make sure that you go ahead and install TubeBuddy free at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin. Now, just as a heads up, you're going to want to upgrade. So on your way in, you might as well just go ahead and upgrade it because it's an awesome tool. Right, D?
Super chat.
All right, we got a super chat. That was a good start. Very, very first start. Okay, so Sanctums says, do you have any tips? They actually didn't say do you. They just said tips for using YouTube as a streaming platform. So as you can see here.
This is good.
Yeah, as you can see here, like I'm going to break this down into two different things. So one is like live streaming. On the live streaming side, to where you're doing this sort of things, it's amazing because you get to basically have these interactions with the people that watch your content on a regular basis and new people that come into the live stream. So basically, as you're sitting here streaming, you get to interact with other people, which is pretty awesome because through your video content, the best that you can do is by doing that in your comment section or doing it via text on Twitter and that sort of thing. So live streaming just helps create that more dynamic interaction between you and the people that are watching your videos, which is pretty awesome. And that's why we love doing it so much. Now, if you're looking at using it as a streaming platform in terms of something where you're wanting to put up like a 24-hour live stream to where you're doing like a music channel or something like that, it's also amazing for that as well. You just have to be able to make sure that you can get traffic to that stream to give it its initial juice, so to speak. Because if you just do it, then there's, maybe people will dig it, maybe they won't, but you have to spread awareness so that people can actually know to go and find it. It's probably not going to do amazing just by itself. It might, depending on the music itself. But yeah, YouTube is a streaming platform all the way around. Anything that you can use it for is great. There's tons of people here on YouTube, which makes it an extremely valuable platform for pretty much any project that you want to do that is within legal limits and within copyright limits. So absolutely.
That was a nice little disclaimer there.
It was. Yeah, gotta squeeze those in. Neil, Urban Explorer says, happy mod birthday to you. Nice. Happy mod birthday, Neil. Happy mod birthday, and thank you for all the stuff that you do here as a moderator and all the mods, as a matter of fact. He says 12 months ago, we went mental and gave him a wrench. That's pretty awesome.
And we've regretted it.
Ever since.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's like, what have we done?
I just want to say what absolute pleasure it was to meet you, man, at Vid Summit. The whole gang came in.
It was awesome.
Beanie Draws came in. Vagard came in. Doug Houston YT came in. Neil came in.
Modern Day Tech is in there.
Modern Day Tech. Edie was in here.
Yep.
John, you do it. Like everybody was there.
Yep.
And I probably forgot somebody who's in the chat. But
sure.
like The gang was all there.
Yeah, there was like over 1,000 people there, so it's hard to just kind of name every single person that was there.
El Jefe was there with family,
was there too. Yep.
with his family.
But it was awesome, just getting to hang out with everybody, and of course all the wonderful learning stuff that you do at Vid Summit as well, the information that you get to take away from it. But for the people that went to Vid Summit, the vibe, like when you leave, it's like you're fired up. You're like, okay, how do I like how do I get back to work? How do I apply all this stuff? And the fun thing is like you get so much awesome information that it's like, okay, well, what do I apply first? Right. So what I recommend in that situation, if you are somebody that's just coming back from Vid Summit, is basically pick something and just start working on that like right away, and then start building in the other things as you go along, just so you can get that momentum going, so you can get that motion in place. So just as a heads up there on what you should do. And if you're not familiar with Vid Summit, I also do encourage you. Basically, it's a video conference, and there's tons of great information shared there. They actually have replays that you can get if you didn't get a chance to go to the event yourself. I have a link to that down in the description below. It's not an affiliate link. It's just a raw link that goes right to their website where you can get the replays for it. And I encourage you to do so because it's awesome. So there's that. D, anything to add to that?
No, I just want to say that, man, that was like such a... I want to apologize.
Unbrick me. I will answer your question right here as soon as D is finished.
I just want to apologize for a second because I was really looking forward to hanging out more with some of the people that were there.
Sure.
And I want to apologize for those of you who I didn't get to hang out with as much because I was practicing a lot for the presentation that we were going to do, so I didn't get to hang out as much this time. And for those of you who I wanted to hang out with the crew,
right? And
I couldn't this time. I was like up here trying to get everything together.
Sure.
So yeah. Hey, Doug, what's going on?
I'm sure everybody understands that, like in that situation, you got to practice, it's part of being professional, you know, you got to practice, you got to make sure that your game is on point when you go up there because, you don't want to blow a situation like that.
But I wanted to hang.
Sure. Absolutely.
I wanted to hang.
We got to hang a bit. We got to hang a bit.
And I'm like, I can't go to the beach.
Oh, yeah. Like, even on that afterwards. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I didn't get to hang out as much as I wanted to hang out. So I just want to let you guys know it's not that I didn't want to.
Yep.
I was really I had a lot on my plate there. So love you guys.
Unbrick me. Absolutely. Unbrick me says, how do you switch cameras? What software do you use? For this, Unbrick me, we use Streamlabs OBS. And basically, it just allows us to plug in multiple cameras and all of that. And then we use Streamlabs OBS to switch. We also use something called Stream Deck. And the Stream Decks are basically little push controllers. And those little push controllers make it to where you can just push a button and then it will switch between cameras and all of that stuff. So inside of Streamlabs, you build in a bunch of different scenes, and then inside of those actual scenes, then you can put different graphics on the screen and stuff like you see right now, to where as you're sitting there talking, you just press a button and then it'll show the different camera angles, or it'll show the actual scene or whatever it is that you actually build in there graphically as well.
I just ripped all these cables.
Hey, it's okay. Zaggy DK, what is up, man? Nice to see you in here as well. It's been a while. I hope you are doing fantastic. Modern Day Tech D said that you did great. By the way, with your presentation.
Who said that?
Yeah, so Just Edie was saying that she was just watching the replays. It's fantastic. Neil said that we nailed the presentation, which is great. Modern Day Tech said that you did fantastic, D.
Thank you, man. Much appreciated.
You did great. He didn't say you did fantastic. He said you did great, which I think is better.
Built me up there.
But I think great might be better than fantastic. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was D's first presentation. And I also think he did an amazing job. What was really cool is it was like there was this one moment, D, where is
that when I ripped the pants off?
It was.
The Velcro pants?
Right before the disco ball came on.
Right.
Yeah, right before that, it was great.
How crazy would that have been?
Yeah, I would have been like, wait, what's going on? This wasn't planned. We didn't practice this.
Yeah. Pants come off, right? Like,
but there's this one moment that was really, really cool for me. And that was basically when we were both up there, and then you had one of the parts that you were doing there towards the beginning, and I stepped over to the side over by my computer because
Simply Beth.
Evan was trying to get a picture of me next to my face up on the screen there.
Okay.
And I stepped over there, and I had this moment to where I was able to just sit there and watch you stand up there and present for a moment.
Yeah.
And it was such a surreal moment because I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at you standing over there, and you see the LCD display, and you have your face on there and the graphics behind you, and you're up there and you see all the people down there. It's just a really cool thing to see.
A moment.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments where I was like, wow, this is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was a great experience. For those of you who were there, thank you for making that such a wonderful experience. For those of you watching this on the replay, thanks for watching watching it on the replay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Leckard Gamer says, "Is this your brother?" Yes, it is. So this is my brother. We live stream every Saturday. Typically, we live stream at 9 a.m. Eastern. So this is our first time live streaming at this hour.
Hey, Salma's in here. Salma just came in.
Oh, Salma, what is up? Nice to see you in here.
Thank
She's saying
you.
that D rocked his first presentation. He's a natural. He absolutely is.
Thank you.
He did fantastic.
It was such a joy meeting her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's absolutely awesome.
Let's talk
She's
about
great.
that for a second.
Okay.
How many?
Let's take
ladies?
a moment and talk about how awesome Salma is.
Yes. First of all, I just want to say, how many ladies do we have in the chat right now? If you're a female creator, type in yes right now in the chat. I want to see how many ladies.
Hashtag yes.
LFA. Let's see how many ladies are in the house right now. Okay, my guess is there's probably a handful of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we got a bunch of yeses coming in now. Look at that. Good.
So first of all, you need to go over there and you need to
make sure you subscribe to Salma.
Make sure to check out Salma. So Salma at Vid Summit, she went to the YouTube space and she's
taking the initiative for all of you. Listen to this.
Right, she took the initiative and she organized at the YouTube space in Los Angeles
Anil, thank you.
A video, and Salma, I apologize if I'm getting the title wrong. You can correct me in the chat, but a Women of Video group. Basically, it was kind of like a round table, and it was fantastic. And I can't wait for that to go live on her channel. And Salma, I just want to say I'm so proud of you for organizing that entire thing, pulling it all together, making it happen. Much love. I'm looking forward to see what you do with that in the future.
Likewise.
Super chat.
Oh, here they come.
Boom.
Women in Video is what it's called.
Women in Video.
I was
nice.
close.
Yeah.
Video, women, right?
It was close.
I was
right.
Semantics
almost, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I had 3 words and I screwed them up.
So for everybody that's interested in that, definitely head over to Salma's channel and subscribe over there, because she's going to be publishing that on her channel once she gets approval from YouTube and all that stuff, once she submits it to them. So make sure if you want to see that and you want to be a part of the movement that she's trying to create in terms of women content creators, supporting each other, and basically helping each other through the process of being an online video person and an online videopreneur. Definitely make sure that you head over and you subscribe to her channel, because she makes awesome content.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing. That was kind of like the whole theme. Hey, Shannon, how's it going? That's kind of the whole theme, is just female creators supporting other female creators. Yeah. And that was just a great moment. And I'm like, I was honored to be a part of that. Yeah. Like, that was cool. So me and Andrew Can, Two Buddy Andrew Can, the film producer. And where is Andrew? Andrew should be in the chat sometime soon. But he put all that together. I ran audio, and that was such a great experience. And thanks, Daniel Patel, if you come in here.
Fully Involved Media Group LLC says the live streams are so informative. Loved the Vid Summit 2 Buddy live stream. That's fantastic. I'm glad that you are enjoying the live streams. I also encourage you, like, if you dig the live streams and you also dig just the information that comes from these, a lot of the information that was shared at Vid Summit, I know just our presentation alone, we shared stuff that we don't even talk about here or on our YouTube channels. So
hey Ed, what's going on, buddy?
So there's a link to the replays down in the description below, and I encourage you to go down and check them out. Book of Alpha Ranami, Dr. BOA. I hope I'm saying that. Alpha Ranami, I think is how you say it. Okay.
Close enough.
Is 100K the lone measuring stick for no longer being a small YouTuber? Always great content from the Nimmin brothers. Thank you for that. So here are my thoughts on that. So small YouTuber, in my opinion, is all subjective. So in my opinion, if you can generate just like 100 subscribers or 200 subscribers, that's a lot of people. People discredit it because you have all of these content creators on YouTube with all of these big numbers next to their names. But in reality, if you take 100 people or you take 200 people and you put them all in a room with you, and everybody's all in that room and they're all just standing there looking at you, all of a sudden 100 to 200 people is going to be a ton of people, and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh. And then keep growing that, and you take 500 people and you put them in a room, and then you have to go stand and talk in front of 500 people. All of a sudden you're not, you're not small anymore because you're standing there in front of 500 people and they're all looking at you. So I think that people get distorted when they start thinking of, oh, I'm a small YouTuber. Sure, you might not have 100,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel, but if you have just a couple of hundred subscribers, like, you're doing fantastic. Like, a lot of content creators don't even make it to 1,000. So if you make it to 1,000, if you've gotten past 1,000, you've done an amazing job. Like, you're already ahead of a lot of people in that regard. So in my opinion, opinion, I don't think that content creators should look at themselves as small creators. You might have like a channel that doesn't have big numbers on it yet, but you're still like, you're making the same content that somebody with 100,000 subscribers is making. Like, you care just as much, if not more, than the person that has 100,000 subscribers on their channel and they're making content. You are just as creative, if not more creative, than the people that are making content at 100,000 subscribers as well. So because of that, you know, because of that, take out the idea, or I just recommend that you take out the idea of, you know, looking at it like, okay, well, I only have a small amount of numbers on my channel. And look at it as, you know what, I'm making really cool stuff, and people, if it's 100 people or 500 people or 1,000 people, like, there's people that are digging my stuff, and that's what is the most important in my opinion.
Yeah, so I'm going to take that for a second and say that
Apex Raymond, I'll answer your question right here in a second.
When it comes to, am I a small YouTuber, am I a big YouTuber, like, it depends on what are you looking at? Right. What are your channel goals? What are your goals in general? The number doesn't necessarily mean success. You can have all the subscribers in the world, but you're not making any money. You can have all the subscribers in the world, all the views in the world, but you're not making an impact. Like, what are your channel goals? What do you measure as success? But I can tell you this, that there are people with fairly small subscriber counts, some 1,000 subscribers to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 subscribers that are full-time YouTubers. Yeah. So what matters most isn't the actual number. It's about the business that you build around your actual channel itself. And it's about the impact that you can have. Yeah. So when you say 100,000 or whatever, like, I don't even look at that stuff. Yeah. Think about, you know, let's just say you're trying to build a business around your channel. You don't need a lot of numbers to do that. Right. So you kind of have to reframe how you're thinking the whole process. Yeah. And in addition to that, also, like Dee was talking about with the impact, you know, like, if you have people sending you emails or leaving you comments and they're like, hey, you know, that video was, you know, helpful, or that video changed my day in some way, or that video, you know, fill in the blank, then in that situation, it's like, you know, you're on the right path. You're already doing that thing. You're already getting that feedback. So, you know, embrace that.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Brian Boltwood, welcome to the channel membership. Make sure that you hit the community feed, and there's some members-only posts in there. Also, there is a members-only Facebook group as well, so make sure that you check that out. And I will approve you there once we get off of the stream here a little bit later today.
I think Andrew Can finally made it in.
Andrew Can in the house. What is up, man? Nice to see you in here. It was awesome hanging out with you at Vid Summit, as well as everybody else that was there also. So Apex Resman wants us to help make a good thumbnail, and why do people not get a 1,000 play button? So in terms of the 1,000 play button, no idea. That's probably just something that YouTube isn't, you know, it's just not, you know, the amount of cost that it would probably take in order to produce all those play buttons is probably way higher than the cost that it would take to just produce them for starting at 100,000 subscribers. Same reason that you don't get one every 100,000 that you pass. It's like, you know, you get one at 100 and then you get one at 1,000,000. So, you know, because of that, you know, I'm assuming that it's probably just to keep costs down.
And nothing's stopping you from making your own 1,000 play button.
Right.
I know Travis MCP. Yeah. Travis MVP
in our world
just came in here right now. So this is a Saturday morning. What's going on?
What's up? We're trying to throw you off, man. Supplies.
We tried to sneak in here where you might be sleeping, Travis. But like Travis, I think Travis, correct me if I'm wrong, but someone gifted you a play button for a certain level. I think it's still hanging on your wall, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, if you want 1,000 play button, make it. Go find somebody to make a 1K play button. Do it. Don't let anybody stop you from celebrating whatever wins that you want to celebrate.
Yes. And to answer your question here,
hey, Duty Ron,
Apex Resman. So I'm going to take you to a website here in a second. I'm going to have Dee, son. I'm going to have Dee pull it up on the screen here, and I'm going to show you. Don't do it, D, yet. If you want to carry this for a second, so I can find this.
Don't do it, D. Like that. Don't do it, D.
I know. Don't do it, D.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Yeah, okay. Man. I've heard that a few times in my life.
Yeah, I know, right?
Don't do it, D.
Pretty much every day. Okay,
don't do it. Don't do it.
So if you want to pull this up real quick, D.
Pull it up.
Okay, so basically, when it comes to making thumbnails, so I just looked at your channel and I see, you know, what you have going on here with your thumbnails, and basically what you're doing is you're just using the automatic screenshot from YouTube. So what you want to do in this situation is you want to go.
Step one is to verify your channel so you can add custom thumbnails.
Yeah, if you haven't done that, they already have, because you can see the navigation right here. But what you want to do is you want to go to a website called canva.com. And this is going to be a place that's going to help you like get started with that. But you go to canva.com. They also have an app for your phone. So if you're making content on your phone, you can also do this on your phone. But you go to canva.com, and then on canva.com, they have all of these templates that you can use. And basically with these templates, then what you can do is you can go in, you can change the background image, you can change the text on there if you want to use text in your thumbnails and that sort of thing, to where you take these templates that are already professionally designed by other people, and then you just go in and you just modify them to make them your own. That's a fantastic place to get started when you are first on YouTube and you're first trying to learn how to make thumbnails for your YouTube channel. Because here's the thing is when it comes to, you know, design and making really good thumbnails, like it's something that somebody can't necessarily show you over the course of 5 minutes, right? It's something that that can take years in some cases to develop the design skills required, to develop the eye required in order to be able to see, hey, this is something that is aesthetically pleasing. Now, with that said, some videos on YouTube have done amazing just by using a screen grab from the video itself. So you don't always have to have an overly designed thumbnail or a thumbnail that looks, you know, a specific way. But what you are doing in that situation is you are creating that benefit because it gives you the option to basically help grab somebody's attention with the thumbnail. And that's what you want to do, is you want to use it to grab somebody's attention and also help tell the story of what is happening in the thumbnail or what's happening in the video, or extend the story of what you are actually promising in the title itself. So you want to use it as a tool to basically grab people's attention and pull them into what it is that you are doing.
Now, in addition to canva.com, like you said, there is an app for that. And if you're making this stuff on your phone, if you head over to my channel,
hashtag, there's an app for that. That's good.
Hashtag, there's an app for that.
Yeah, that's
right?
good. Yeah.
If you head over to my channel right here, you see there's a link down in the description below. I show you how to do everything on your phone, including making thumbnails. I walk you through how to make a thumbnail with a Snapseed, which is a free app, basic app for building a thumbnail. I walk you through how to build a thumbnail with PixArt. A little bit more complicated, but maybe for you, I would look into one of my earlier videos for thumbnail creation. Everything's totally free. I walk you through the process, or like he said, go to Canva, use the app, or canva.com on the website. But like, and I'm going to piggyback on what you said.
Sure. Piggyback, D.
Creating thumbnails, shooting your video, coming up with your titles, all of that stuff. These are skills that every single person on the platform has had to have learned at one time or the other.
Yes.
So if you're starting at zero, everyone starts at zero. And even if you look at somebody like Nick or somebody who's really successful on YouTube, you're like, wow, their stuff looks so good. I promise you they started in the exact same place that you're at right now. The only difference is maybe they were doing this somewhere else before they started on YouTube. Like Nick and I, for example, have a background from graphic design and that sort of thing before 20 years before we got onto YouTube. So a lot of this stuff transfers on over. But yeah, you just got to put in the work and you figure it out. It's all part of the process. But if you keep practicing, you keep getting better, you will get better.
Yeah. And you do get 100,000. So Bango Mob says, why do you not get 100,000 play button? What would prevent you from getting a 100,000 subscriber play button is if you have violations on your account. If you have violations on your account, then in that situation, that's where you run into problems with possibly not getting your play button.
Welcome to the Nimminati.
Soul Moon's Rising, welcome to the channel membership. Just as a heads up, make sure you check the community feed.
Cool, and also, name. I love that name.
I do too. Soul Moon's Rising.
Yeah.
Also, make sure that you check the community feed as well, and make sure that you join our members only Facebook group. All you have to do is just go to Facebook and look for Nimmin VIP. And while you're there, just make sure that you fill out the information on the way in, because I verify everybody that I approve to go in there.
I want to go back on the
Cosmic W says, I didn't know that you could use Canva on a computer. Absolutely.
There you go. You learned something today.
Yeah, it was built on a computer first.
Man. Our job is done.
It is.
I'm going to go back to something about thumbnails.
Duty run.
The goal, and this is something for everyone to keep in mind, the goal of your thumbnail is to stop people from scrolling or to get their attention. If they're looking on a computer, looking on a phone.
Big J, what's up?
The goal is get their attention and get them to click on it. So part of the process, you got to learn how to build your thumbnail, but you also need to learn how to get the attention with all the other thumbnails that you're competing against. So one thing that I like to do is when I come up with my video title, I will write my video title into YouTube in the search bar, and I hit search, and I look at all the thumbnails and the first 10 thumbnails that pop up. And I say, okay, these are the videos, these are the thumbnails that are getting all the views, right? And I look at them and I say, okay, well, hopefully I'm going to rank for one of these. So what can I do? What colors can I use to make my thumbnail stand apart from all these other thumbnails, because you're not just competing. You're not just building a thumbnail for the sake of getting a click. You're actually competing for the attention against all of these other thumbnails. So that's a little piece of thing. It is a piece of thing.
It's a big piece of thing.
That's a little tip that I do. I always type it in. I look at the competition. And I say, okay, because if you look at all of my thumbnails and you say, hey man, some of your thumbnails are green, some of them are blue. They all kind of have the same look for the most part. But I do it based on competition. Like, I want this color to stand out when you look at it. So that's why I do that. So just keep that in mind when you're putting thumbnails together.
And also, to take that up a notch, another thing that you can do as well. So let's say that you take Dee's tip there and you're like, hey, let me search for this and see the videos that are coming up. Another thing that you can do is you can open up the top videos there. And let's say that you are trying to be topically related to those videos as well, because you're making videos on a similar topic. That's why you're searching for it. Then you can also pop those up and you can do the same exact thing in the suggested column as well. Go look and see, the thumbnails that are being suggested next to those videos also. Not the ones that are recommended for you, but the ones that are general suggested, so that you can see, hey, how does my thumbnail stand out next to these other these videos that I'm getting recommended, or that I could possibly get recommended next to as well. If you're a channel member,
welcome to the Nimmin.
Got a bunch of them coming in.
Oh, I got to do it again.
If you're a channel member, and I might have to refresh it because I put it in there a while ago. Okay, another one. Nice.
To the Nimmin.
There we go.
But I put it in there a while ago. There's actually, if you're a Photoshop user, I have a PSD template to where that PSD template, you can actually take screenshots of the different pages, and then you just load your thumbnail into it. And then it'll basically, you can just turn the groups on and off, and then it'll basically just show your thumbnail in different places around the platform, so that you can get an idea of, what it looks like next to the different things. So if you're a channel member, you'll see that. But I want to say, Save Your Light, welcome to the channel membership, and Jen Leary, sorry about that. Jen Leary, thank you for that as well, and welcome to the channel membership as well.
Stamper Dog, what's up?
Stamper Dog. Now, really quick, I want to answer a quick question here, D, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Scott's Thoughts channel says, would you explain the difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike? So just as a heads up,
question.
I'm going to answer this one, but just as a heads up, if you have a question that you want answered for anybody that's watching this, make sure that you put it in the form that we have down in the description below this video. So basically, as you scroll down the description, you're going to see a thing for ask your question here. Click into that, and then you fill it out, and then we can answer your question in the best way possible through the information that you filled out. And we're not collecting any data from you or anything like that with that.
Duty Ron says, these two gentlemen always have great ideas for growing your YouTube channel. I learn something new each time they go live. Thank you, Duty Ron.
Thank you, Duty Ron.
Have an awesome day.
Yeah,
or
have a
evening.
great day.
I think it's evening where you're at.
Oh, yeah. I guess we got to say that now because it's our day. Yeah.
Good evening.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So the difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike is this. Basically, a copyright claim, they're claiming the ad revenue that comes in from that video. A copyright strike, the way to look at it that way is they're trying to, or they're not trying to, but they're actually putting a strike against your channel. They're striking your channel. They're hurting your channel. So in that situation, what they're doing is they're actually putting a penalty on you versus just claiming the ad revenue that you're making. So the copyright claim, your channel will not get taken down over a copyright claim. However, through copyright strikes, your channel will get taken down over copyright strikes. So that's the difference between those. Hopefully that was helpful for you.
Tony Jacobson's in the house. How's it going, Tony?
What's up, Tony? For a second, I thought I saw Jevin in the chat, but I didn't because I just scrolled down way too quick.
By the way, Tony, I'll probably be getting with you sometime in the next couple days to talk about what we were talking about at VidSummit.
That sounds secretive.
It is secretive.
That sounds so secretive.
Yeah, so we just got back. So those of you who don't know, so we went to VidSummit. We're in USA.
Sparks Family TV, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Got to drop that. Mm-hmm. So when we finished VidSummit, we went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only been back to Thailand.
No hablo español.
No hablo español. I've only been back for 2 days. I've been back in Thailand for 2 days, massively jet lagged. That's why we're actually streaming early.
Yeah, because we knew we wouldn't be able to effectively do this at 9 o'clock at night.
No, I'm asleep. I'm out cold by 9 o'clock. How long have you been back? 5 days? 4 days?
Me?
A couple days before me. 2 days before me. 3 days.
2 days before you. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll be asleep in about 5 hours. We'll both be out cold.
Yeah. Soul Moon's Rising saying that she loves our sound effects. That's good. That is all D right there. That is all D.
That's Travis.
This is
Travis.
Yeah, Travis.
Travis MCP, who was in here a moment ago.
MVP.
MVP. He's always our MVP.
He is.
We need a special thing for him when he comes in.
We do.
We need a special Travis MVP.
We definitely do.
Like a hyped up thing. Travis MVP.
Travis MVP. Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
Like crowds.
So just as a heads up, if you have a question you want answered, we don't have hardly any questions in here right now. So so just as a heads up,
awesome.
like, yeah, if you have a question you want answered, you're going to go like pretty much the front of the line. So
what up,
just as a
Bat
heads
Squatch? Save your light.
Total Voice Studio says, so grateful for everything I've learned from you. Thank you, Total Voice Studio. Glad that you are finding value in the content. That's what we're here for, to to help other content creators that are trying to do all this stuff.
To the Nimmin.
Boom. Welcome to the Nimmin there, Nikki Antoinette. I hope I'm saying that correct. Yeah, I am saying that correctly. So welcome to the Nimmin. Make sure that you join the Facebook group as well. Just go to Facebook and look for Nimmin VIP. Make sure you fill out all the information because I verify everybody on the way in, just as a heads up there. El Jefe, thank you for that as well. Enjoy your sleep and enjoy your work when you guys get to do it. And hug Paloma for us as well.
Yep. That was great seeing you guys. That was so unexpected.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
always great.
And El Jefe rolled in with the brother and Paloma.
Yeah.
Right? Like fam.
Yep.
Just absolute fam just comes rolling in. It was so great. Unexpected.
Yep. All right. So here's okay. So great question here really quick from Sparks Family TV says
yes, Doug.
When you become a YouTube partner, does YouTube promote your videos more? No. No, they don't.
Super chat.
Yeah, so in that situation, like just by becoming a YouTube partner doesn't mean that you're going to get more views. It still comes down to you getting a response on your content. So like as an example, Casey Neistat had like 500,000 subscribers on his channel and like millions and millions and millions of views before he even monetized his content. So no, it doesn't help you get more views. Now, when you verify your channel, that can help you get more views because then you get access to additional features like custom thumbnails and that sort of thing. But in terms of actually getting monetized, that doesn't make a difference.
So Save Your Light.
Hey, Flash in your pan. What's up, man?
So Save Your Light was just asking, says, I think my channel layout is good. I would love your opinion. Do I need to change anything? Are we doing channel review? Are we looking up channels today?
Because they were the first person that asked, I'll look at hers.
Okay,
or I'll look at theirs.
There you go.
I just got to find it really quick. So if you could
Save Your Light.
Save Your Light. Got it.
Yep,
Boom.
channel member.
Yeah, so we're not going to be doing channel reviews today, but just because they just asked and they were the first person
early bird gets the worm.
Early bird gets the worm, absolutely. So I've got you in the queue here, so I'm not going to look at it right now. So hang tight. I'm going to actually go into the questions here first, just because I know there's some people that put their question in and they're waiting for that answer. So let me just answer a few questions and then we'll get into that here in just a little bit.
So Doug recommended that when Travis comes in, we play just like a little second or so of his, because he's got a theme song. You listening to Travis. He's got like his little thing.
We could just do Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just have that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we need that. All right. We're going to make that happen.
Okay. We need one for Viper, too.
Super chat.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay. So let's see here. Make history content, hobby fun, eventually income, hopefully. Cool. How would you recommend that a small YouTuber gets their name out there and retains their audience's attention? It's a fantastic question. And my answer to that question is, in order to get your content out there, there's a handful of things that you have to learn how to do as a content creator. You have to learn how to make effective titles, and you have to learn how to make effective thumbnails, and you have to learn how to make video content that people respond to. Now, when it comes to your titles, this is where it becomes really important to know who it is that you're making content for. Know the people that you're trying to reach, because when you know the people that you're trying to reach, then you can have insights into how they might look around for things and things that will grab their attention when they happen to see them. So if you're a history channel, then you have insights into, I'm guessing that you have a history channel because you love history. So what you want to start with, if you're trying to reach other history fans or people that are in history, is you want to start with, okay, if I was looking around YouTube, what type of things would grab my attention in thumbnails? When I'm looking around YouTube already, what type of content is grabbing my attention when I'm looking around YouTube? Like, what type of titles are they using? What are they doing in their thumbnails that is grabbing my attention as somebody that is interested in history? So start there. Start there with the titles, and it's very important. And a lot of content creators, when they're new, they underestimate the power of being able to write a good title or being able to make a good thumbnail. And the reason that everybody highlights how important it is because that's your very first point of contact. So if you have a returning viewer, somebody that you're trying to reach that's already seen your content, then that's your first point of contact with them when you publish a new video. When you have somebody that's never been introduced to your content before, the people that come in and help your channel grow, when you have those people coming in, or when your content's being introduced to them, it's also the first point of contact for them. If your title and your thumbnail are not grabbing their attention, then you're never going to get them to your video content, right? You have to get that click. If you don't get that click, then it doesn't matter how good your video is, it's not going to do any good, right? So because of that, you have to get effective at writing good thumbnails, or I'm sorry, writing good titles and making good thumbnails. So as a history channel, other things that you can do to try to help yourself get more discovered or get discovered more is you can make content that is search friendly. And that search friendly is like when people are looking for specific things in history. There's tools like TubeBuddy that you can use. Link to that's in the description, but there's tools like TubeBuddy that you can use to kind of gauge your ability to show up or to rank against other channels when people are searching for things. But at a higher level, you want to also think in terms of, if I can write good titles and if I can make good thumbnails, if I can get people watching my videos also, if I can get them to click and watch my videos for an extended period of time, then what's going to happen eventually is YouTube is going to start saying, hey, anytime that we show this video, people are responding to it. And then what's going to happen is on a topic base, then YouTube is going to start saying, okay, well, these history people over here that are digging this history content, some of them have watched this history content over here, and anytime they watch this history content over here on this other channel, they really get into it. They watch a handful of videos, they interact, they subscribe, they like it, they comment, all that good stuff. So what we're going to do is a lot of these people that are watching this are also watching some of these other channels, and YouTube is going to make that connection, and then they're going to slowly start dripping some of your videos over next to some of the content of your competitors on YouTube, and then you're going to be able to start pulling traffic from them. And depending on how good you get at getting people to click on your thumbnails and getting people to watch your content, depending on how good you get at that, then YouTube will also start putting you on home pages a lot as well, because they know out of the available spots on a user's homepage, they have to maximize the chances of people clicking on one of the thumbnails that they see, right? So because of that, when you make content that people respond to, they click on it a lot and then they watch it for an extended period of time and then they engage further, then what happens is that's a proven performer. So since that video is a proven performer, then YouTube is more likely to show it in one of those available spots, because they know if somebody goes and they watch that video, then there's a really good chance they might watch another one or engage in some way. And what YouTube is trying to do is they're trying to keep people on the platform. They're trying to keep people engaged so that they can serve more ads to them, and just so they can keep them coming back to the platform, because the more they come back to the platform, the more ads they can serve and so on. So because of that, you have to learn as a content creator how to do those things. Now, to go down another rabbit hole here real quick, another thing,
baby, go.
Another thing
all about them rabbit holes.
Is you also want to make sure, like, the next step in that process is you get them to click, right? So you got them there. So the next step in the process is you want to, Construction Cronies, what's up, man?
Hey.
The next step in the process is you want to make sure that you are able to keep people watching. Now, inside of YouTube, you have something called audience retention reports. In your audience retention reports, this is inside of your Creator Studio Beta and inside of the Creator Studio Classic, but I encourage everybody to start using Beta because the Classic is going away soon. But basically, they're going to show you your audience retention reports. And with your audience retention reports, you're going to get a second-by-second report on how people are responding to your videos in mass. Okay, so it's not like, hey, my mom watched this video and she thought it was great. Hey, all my friends have watched this video and they've said that it's fantastic.
Super chat.
It's not that at all. What it is it shows you how when a bunch of people come into your video, a bunch of people that you don't know and people that you know or whatever, it shows you that at scale, when a bunch of people watch this video, here is how they're responding to each individual part of this video. And what you can do with that information as a content creator is you can say, okay, well, if I'm watching the video and I see when people come in, there's a huge drop and then hardly anybody even completes the video at all, or they hardly make it into like 25 seconds of the video, that tells you, hey, I need to work on this first 25 seconds. Because if I can't hold people's attention in that first 25 seconds, I'm definitely not going to get them for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, right? So what you have to do is you have to start at that very beginning point.
You've actually got less than 25 seconds.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, focus on those beginning parts, right? Because you like,
man,
the better you get at grabbing their attention and pulling them through those first parts, then the better your chances are, especially watching history content, that they're going to sit back, kick back, and they're going to end up watching, the majority of your video because they're interested in the topics and how you're putting your videos together and all that stuff. So that's what I recommend to you. Like, if you want to get discovered more, like, it really comes down to being able to tap into YouTube itself and being able to give YouTube high-performing content that they can show to people over and over and over and over again. And it takes time to learn how to do it. In some cases, it also takes time for YouTube to catch on that it's high-performing content, depending on how high it performs. If it's like super high, people are clicking on it like crazy, you're nailing the titles, nailing the thumbnails, and the video content, then YouTube will pick it up rather quickly. But if it's just kind of like average, it's doing okay, then those are the results that you're going to get from it. So I hope that answered your question. Even though it was pretty extended.
That's a skill within itself.
It is.
Right? So, like, not only do you got to make sure you get your titles right, you've got to make sure your thumbnails are right. You got to make sure your videos look good. They got to sound good. But how you actually structure your videos,
all of it,
that hook at the beginning, that intro, that first 25 seconds, the first minute, you like you got to get them through the video. If people lose interest, like people say, "Hey, I'm not growing. Hey, people can't find my videos.
Yep.
Hey." It always comes.
It's all true.
It's all true. All of it. It all comes down to the same thing. Like you might be choosing the wrong topics, or your titles could be wrong. Your thumbnails might not be sticky, or your videos just aren't delivering yet. When somebody does find you and they tap on your thumbnail or your title and they come in and they see what's going on, they're not getting the value that they thought they were going to get. And when they're leaving, he's talking about with your audience retention, when you see that drop, when people are starting to leave, it's like, hey, you're losing them. And the more you're losing them, the more YouTube is going to say, hey, when we show this video to people and they go to watch this video and they leave. So we're going to stop showing this video.
And with that, also another thing to think about is, as content creators, as creative people, like we want to do things our way, and it's just how we are. So it's like, you know, we're the creative people, we're the people that are, you know, putting this stuff out there. So we want to do it in the way that we want to do it. However, without the viewers, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what we want if the viewers aren't responding to it. So as much as it might suck to have to look at it and say like, man, people are not responding to this the way that I want them to, what you need to do is you need to look at that and just change the way that you look at it. Instead of saying like, I suck, people aren't responding to this the way that I want them to, look at it and say, okay, these are just my pain points. I can do this. I can get through this. I can figure this out. I just have to figure out how to get people to respond to these particular areas, you know, a little bit better and so on. So it's not a thing to where you look at it and you think that you're bad because the results aren't great yet. You just look at it as more of a challenge and say, okay, well, this is what I'm working with. This is how it is right now. So what can I do in order to improve the viewer experience as they're going through my content?
So Brian Boltwood says, my friends say videos are too long, but everywhere says the videos should be 10 minutes or longer for long term.
Look in your audience retention.
I just want to say, don't listen to your friends.
Ever.
Don't listen to your family.
Well, take feedback. Take feedback.
With
so,
a grain
for
of
example,
salt,
like
with
if
a grain of salt.
Like D has mentioned some things to me that has been very helpful for me. And you know, he's tuned into this stuff though, because he's done media for a long time and things like that. But you know, because of that, you know, like I'll take his, you know, opinion on anything he says. However, in a lot of cases, I think the road that he's trying to walk down is people are going to be biased because they don't want to like hurt your feelings, or
they just don't understand.
Or they don't understand what's important.
My point is this:
on YouTube,
only take feedback. This is how I live. This is how I live my life. I'm not going to take feedback from anybody that's not doing what I'm doing. That's not at a level higher than I'm at. Like if you're like at a beginner level, or you know what I mean? Like if you don't have skin in the game, I'm not listening to you. We're not playing the same game. You're on the sidelines, you're watching. I'm playing the game. Stay in the bleachers. Right. But if you're also in the game, if you're somebody I look up to and you give me feedback, I'm listening. I'm taking notes. Right.
Sure.
But just like, you know, a random friend, hey man, I think your videos are too long. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so
and this is where I'm going to go to my audience retention report. I'm going to say,
this is where data really comes to be your friend, because you can take that information to where you have like your friends saying this, and then they're all sitting around a table, and you have three of your friends against you, and they're like, yeah, dude, your videos are way too long. I watched it and I couldn't sit through a minute. And then you look in your audience retention, you're like, wow, people are watching like 6 minutes out of this 10 video. I'm doing great.
That's my point. The only thing that matters is the people who are actually consuming your content. If they're not watching your videos, everything else is just a recommendation. You got to look at that audience retention report. But like I said, if it's somebody that's coming at it from a higher level, somebody who's more experienced than you, even then you do have to take it with a grain of salt.
Absolutely. If they're not your target audience.
Because here's the thing, and this is really important. What works?
Like a gamer, if you have a history channel, like a gamer might give you advice that doesn't even apply to a history channel.
Exactly. So Nick and I can give you basic practice information. Like, you know, basic practices, this stuff generally works.
And stuff that has worked on channels that are similar to yours based on channels that we've worked with.
Right. But the thing is, like, you have to test it on your channel. You have to test it with your audience, right? Like, all of this stuff is testing. Like, you say, hey, should my videos be 10 minutes or longer? Test it and see. Make a bunch that are 10 minutes, make a bunch that are not 10 minutes, and see which one people respond to better. Like for me, all of my top performing videos are shorter videos. So like for me, shorter videos win on my channel. Longer videos, they always tank. Always, because my audience doesn't respond well to them. So you got to figure out what works for your audience.
And once you do find that out, then you'll be able to pull the right switches, so to speak, whenever whenever you need to, because you'll have an understanding of how your audience responds. So real quick, I've got some super chats that I want to go through here really quick. So Officer Mac says, go ahead.
Can you hold that for 1 second?
Sure.
So Brian Boltwood replied, and this is great that you said this, Brian. He says, I'm just making them however long they need to be. And I'm so glad you said that, because when I was first getting started, when I was starting my channel, I asked Nick, I said, how long should I make my videos? And he said exactly that. He said, make them as long as they have to be.
Yep.
So when I started out, I made them as long as I had to be, or as long as they had to be. And I still do that. And I cringe when they get on the longer side, because I know they're probably not going to perform that well. But generally speaking, my shorter ones still do perform better. But I make them as long as they have to be. I don't try to shorten them too much. I don't try to drag them out. It's just that's how long the video needed to be.
Bob Star X, what's up, dude?
Bob Star X, how's it going, brother?
So Officer Mac says, dropped a $2 super chat, says you guys are amazing. Thank you for that, Officer Mac. Fast Watch Game says you bros rock and roll. Thank you for that as well. Jen Leary says, loving your support. We'll ask your advice in good time. Very cool. Thank you.
You know what I love about Bob Star?
Lisa at home says, thanks for all your generous help. Our pleasure. We love doing this.
You know what I love about Bob Star X? Every single time he comes in, he always accidentally writes Bob Star
C. Yeah. Welcome to the stream, Bob Star X.
Every single time, Bob Star C. You got one letter, man. Just make sure you hit
X.
Right. You got to stick that X, right? Like like an athlete or the Olympics, right? They bounce, they flip, and they land. You got to stick the landing. You got one key on your keyboard, Bob Star, that you got to hit. You got to stick the X every single time.
So the next question is from Brian Boltwood. Brian asks, let's see here. Business for entrepreneurs, very cool. To grow my brand, to eventually monetize it and get paid to speak, sell books, coaching courses, etc. You're going to love YouTube. You're going to absolutely love YouTube, Brian.
Yeah.
Says, I want to grow my brand, meaning my name, Brian Boltwood. However, I've always been a huge fan of creating brands and wondering how to grow my channel. Should I make it a cool name like my book title, Prospering Form Your Passions? Oh, wait. My book title, Prospering Form Your Passions, or stick with my name and grow it that way. So what you should do in this situation, and this is a decision that I had to make as well, Brian, is think of long term, right? Think 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and think big picture of what it is that you're wanting to do with your YouTube channel. So in your case, if you're sharing like business advice, I'm just going to give you a couple avenues that you can go through here. So like if you're doing business for entrepreneurs, then one thing you can think of is, I can make like a company, give it some clever name, and I can build the channel around that. And then down the road, I want to have other people also make content, other people appear on the channel making content on my behalf because they're representing the brand. It's not dependent on me as a person, right? So you have that avenue that you can take, which allows you for more YouTube expansion down the road, or you can build it as a personal brand like Dee and I are doing, to where basically that it all comes down to you. You're the person that's making the content and things like that. However, the power of YouTube when you are doing it that way, the power of YouTube when you are building a personal brand is off the charts. And the reason for that is because when people are watching your videos, there's something called, and I'll just tell you what it is, and then you can look into it later, but it's called parasocial relationships or parasocial interaction. And it's really powerful on YouTube. And it's basically like one-sided relationships. People are watching your content where like some people you're aware of, other people you're not, but they still watch your content. They feel they get to know you and trust you and all that good stuff based on just watching your videos over and over again. And when it comes to growing your personal brand, it's really awesome for that. So just a couple roads there that you want to consider. And another thing too is like if you're going to be doing it to get paid to speak and sell books and coaching and all of that, sure, you can absolutely, without question, build that around a company name to where you can still do everything yourself, and then you can be Brian from Live U as an example, or you can just be Brian, right? So in that situation, you want to think about, okay, do I want to be known as Brian from Live U, or do I want people to just know my name as an example?
What's up, Dapper Dop?
What's up, Dapper Dop? But yeah, so those are the two avenues that I would just tell you to spend some time on and really think out, right? Think like way down the line. Think 5 years, 10 years from now. Just think of how it is that if you had a million subscribers on your YouTube channel, and if you had all of the things that you're doing in terms of, you're being paid to speak, you're selling books, you're coaching, you're doing courses, all that stuff, like how would you present that 5 years or 10 years down the road? How would you want that to unfold, and how would you want to be known at that point in time? Would you want to be known as, that company guy, or that guy from that company, or would you want it to be all on you, to where it's like, hey, I'm Brian, I have this book under my belt, this company under my belt, this company under my belt, this company under my belt, this other book, these courses under my belt, or I have this company, and then everything that I'm doing is basically going to be stuck around what this company supports, and then I'll probably end up having to launch additional channels and so on.
Did that one come from Brian Boltwood?
Yes.
So Brian, just my 2 cents on this, everything that he just said, I totally agree with, but just, as someone who's I just had my first speaking gig, right? I would go on your name, just me personally.
It gives you more flexibility.
Brian Boltwood can be known for many things.
Yeah.
Right.
And anything.
And anything. Right. So if you want to pivot down the road, Brian Boltwood can do anything.
Yeah.
Versus your company could too, as long as you picked a company name that was versatile. But Brian Boltwood, and it just sounds like a cool name.
It does.
Right?
Yeah. It's got a good flow to it.
Yeah. Brian Boltwood actually sounds good.
Yeah. From somebody that doesn't know you.
Right.
Like, Brian Boltwood has like a ring to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a super brandable name too.
Brand it, man. Brian Boltwood, get the .com, whatever you can do, get all the social media on that, and I would roll hard with that.
Yeah.
Super chat.
So Fully Involved Media Group says, if a content creator is close to the monetization requirement towards December 31st but doesn't meet it, does watch time reset to 0? How does it work? No. Basically, the time is within, it's basically a rotating scale. So if you meet that, like let's say that you started YouTube in November, that doesn't mean it gets cut off in December. That means that you have all the way until the next November to hit those requirements.
Lily Tree says, I would have probably used my name. I would have probably used my name, but no one can ever spell it. Change it. You know what I mean? Like, so if let's say your last name is complicated and you think, well, people are never going to be able to spell my name, change it. Simplify
your name. Yeah. So it's still the same kind of, but it's just easy to remember.
Yeah. If you need to remove a letter or something, whatever, like, it's a stage name. A lot of artists and stuff like that will have tweaks or whatever to make it more memorable.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Or if you're the late Prince, you can even make it a symbol if you'd like. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that, because it'll be hard for people.
Yeah. Doug says it. Gary V, right?
Yeah.
You've got Gary
V.
Yeah. Gary Vaynerchuk, right? But everybody knows him as Gary V. Perfect example. Yeah.
Okay, Fully Involved Media Group. Next question here is, I'm 915 subscribers. My channel spiked around August from 300 to 915. Good job. Now I'm struggling to get the remaining subscribers to hit 1,000. I'm trying to get monetized prior to December 31st. Any suggestions on how to gain the small number of remaining subscribers? I've advertised this channel across our Facebook page, boosting posts, Instagram, and Twitter. Also have had the channel shared with colleagues. What am I doing wrong? It's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong.
Soul Moon Rising, I think you accidentally got silenced there. Apologize for that.
What happened?
It got deleted by accident. I think was somebody, they got grabbed by mistake.
Oh, okay.
Apologies for that.
Hey, what's up, Eugene? So back on this really quick. Let me go back down. Okay, so channel spike. Okay, yeah. So in that situation, it's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong. It's more that that you just haven't really tapped into the stuff that makes YouTube work yet. In terms of titles, thumbnails, getting people to watch the content for an extended period of time, and all of that.
Eugene Papa, what's up, brother?
And that's the thing that once you figure that part out, once you get good at that, that's the thing that's going to have more people visiting your channel every day, more people subscribing every day, and things like that, to where you'll be able to hit those 1,000s. Like, you'll be hitting that every month, or you'll be hitting that every week, or depending on how hard you go at it. Like 1,000 subscribers is going to seem like it's going to seem easy over time. But right now you're just going through that beginning part of like learning how to do everything and learning how to get that response. And because of that, because of that, it might seem like you're doing something wrong, and you might be, but that thing that you might be doing wrong, typically it just comes down to your video content itself, how people are responding to it. Make sure you go into your audience retention reports, look in there, see everything that's happening with your videos. Are people sharing it? Are people commenting on it? Are people giving you thumbs up or thumbs down on it? How are people responding? Like, if YouTube is giving you a bunch of impressions on your thumbnail, how often are people actually clicking on that thumbnail? How often are they clicking on it from all the different traffic sources and all that? Like, you got to dig into everything, and you got to figure out, where your own individual holes are on your channel. And that's what your analytics are for, is being able to dig into that information and uncover specifically for your channel and for each video where the holes are, so that you can improve on them down the road.
That's the thing. So I know the majority of the people in the chat right now want to grow their channel.
Sure.
If you want to grow your channel, right? Like legit. If your goal because some people just might be using YouTube as like a cloud storage.
Sure.
And that's cool.
They're probably not hanging out in here.
You're probably not. Yeah. But let's just say, if you if your goal is to grow your channel, type in yes in the chat right now.
Yeah.
I want to see, I'm curious if I'm just going to see like a wall of yes come in, because I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
So Dow, how's it going? She's the first one to say yes. So I'm going to guess that there's 214 people watching right now. I'm going to bet that 211 of them are probably going to say yes. That's their goal, right? Yeah. That's their goal, to go to YouTube channel.
All right.
Now, for every single
hold on
person,
real quick. I got to put my yes in here too, because I want to grow my channel too. Don't want to miss that opportunity.
Right. So we have a bunch of yeses coming in. So it's obvious what's going on here. It's obvious why you're here. Now, for every single person who said yes, this is an honest question. And I actually want to let some of these yeses just keep rolling in here. There's a lot of
He's setting you up right now. I don't know. Yeah, I see his eyes over there. I see what he's doing.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Yeah, he's setting you up.
So my next question to you, is, for every single person who just said yes, have you actually, and this is a two-part question, you can type in yes, yes, or yes, no, or no, yes, right? There'll be two on here.
Okay.
One line. Have you gone through the YouTube Creator Academy? It's a free course by YouTube that teaches you how the platform works.
Okay, there's one yes.
So that's one yes or no. And the second one is, have you actually, and do you continually dedicate time to learn how to read your analytics?
Yes and yes. I won. Yes.
So if that's like a yes and yes or no, no, I'm just curious to see.
I passed these tests.
And if your answer is no to any of those, okay, there's a lot of people in here like, yes, yes, yes. That's
okay,
awesome.
Good.
High five, fist bump. You're doing it, right? Just keep doing it. Keep learning.
Yeah, keep doing it. Just be patient. Keep doing it and be patient.
If you've answered no, and I see a good handful of you are saying no, when you're finished watching this stream, go do that.
Yeah.
Go do that. So start that process, because this is how you're going to grow. Because if you said yes, you want to grow, but no, you're not doing one of those things, you got to learn how to do one of those things or you're not going to grow.
So for those of you that are not familiar with what the YouTube Creator Academy is, what Dee just mentioned, it's 100% free. It's provided by YouTube.
Yes.
Pull up my screen real quick, Dee.
Boom.
So basically, if you just go to Google and you type in YouTube Creator Academy, I've also got a link to this down in the description as well.
Did they just redo the design again?
So you can find this the easy way. They did this a little bit ago. Yeah. But basically, like...
you're not logged in, that's why.
Right.
Okay.
And they put it back to YouTube Creator Academy, too, instead of YouTube Creators. But basically, like, as you look into this, basically, they have here, Quick Start Guide to YouTube. If you're a new content creator, or if you're a content creator and you haven't went through this, like, you need to go through it, right? Because this is basically just fundamental things. Over here, Get Discovered. They straight up tell you, hey, if you're on YouTube, these are the things that you need to make sure that you're doing in order to get discovered. If you're wanting to make money with ads, right? Hey, here's how you make more money with ads. And then they go even further. They give you all of this additional information.
This is free.
This is free, 100% free. YouTube gives this to you because YouTube wants you to succeed on the platform, regardless of all of the stuff that, you'll see when people are caught up in the hype of like, oh, YouTube is trying to hold down whatever, or YouTube, doesn't want this, or YouTube's trying to, penalize this or that and the other thing. Like ultimately what YouTube wants is they want family-friendly content that people can consume on a regular basis. And they, like, if you're making that type of content, they want to help you learn how to make better content. They want to help you make more money so that you can make better content. They want to help you learn how to get your videos in front of more people and all of that, because the more people keep coming back to YouTube because of you, the content creator, the more they keep coming back to YouTube because of you, the more money YouTube is going to make, right? So that ad revenue that you get every single month, if you're in the partner program, that ad revenue that you get every single month, YouTube is also getting ad revenue. Right. So because of that, like, they want you to increase that.
Holy cow, ladies and gentlemen, Evan Carmichael is in the house.
Evan Carmichael.
What is going on,
What
Evan?
is up? You caught a live stream. What is up, Evan, man? It was awesome hanging out with you at Vid Summit.
Yeah. Yeah, and little talk on that. Evan totally
changed our presentation.
Right?
Yeah, this guy.
4 hours before we go on, Evan's like, no, listen, you got to change up the beginning of your presentation. Love you, Evan. That was great. Thank you, man.
It was awesome. Definitely awesome. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Evan. Much love, man. Much love.
So with the YouTube Creator Academy, though, like, as a content creator, you want to make sure that you're going through this because again, like, this is the information that a lot of people are looking for on how to do this stuff. And if you're a new content creator, like, it is critical that you consume some of this information. It's free, put out by YouTube, so that you can do better on the platform. I actually had a conversation. Was it last night that I did the interview with Tom?
Yeah, it was last night.
Yeah, so last night I did an interview with Tom from the Creator Insiders YouTube channel. And when I was talking to him before and after the stream, he was emphasizing the importance of how they are trying to help content creators. And he was emphasizing the importance to me about how the same exact thing I'm telling you about how, the better content creators do, the better it is for YouTube as well. So they want to help YouTubers win. That's why they're changing the Classic Creator Studio into the beta so that we can have additional features. That's why they're cutting off the Classic very soon, because they want to allocate the developers that are working on that to maintain that. They're wanting to put them on the new system in order to make that even better for us. So, so it's really important just to understand that they're trying to help you, and that you can use that information to get a better understanding. And like any content creator will tell you that has any success at all on YouTube, the more that you understand what makes this stuff work, the better that you're going to end up doing over the long term. So it's really important to make sure that you're doing it. I know I got a little ranty there, but it's really important, and I got to make sure I drive. I got to make sure I drive that. I got to make sure I drive that home. So
it needs to be said.
It does,
especially with the Creator Academy. So many creators, I didn't know at first either. Like, that's just not something that a lot of people are aware of, especially if you're just getting started on a platform. You're like, whoa, what do you mean there's an instruction manual to YouTube?
Right.
Whoa, where's it at?
Right.
Because I usually, what do you do when you get an instruction manual? Usually
throw it away.
Right.
Yep, throw it away.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Blue-Eyed Tech is the next question on our list. Blue-Eyed Tech, been making content for 1.5 years. Their goal of their YouTube channel is to grow and build a community of tech enthusiasts. Very cool. Says, what's your advice for someone who's hitting a roadblock on video ideas and having a hard time getting back into regular scheduled uploads? That is a fantastic question, because a lot of content creators go through that. So excellent question. So my advice for you, if you're having trouble coming up with video ideas, is to look at content that is outside of your space. So it's really easy for us as content creators to, like, especially like if you're in tech, to just be watching all these tech channels and seeing what all these tech channels are doing. But you can look outside of your space and just look at, some of the ideas that other content creators are having. Like if you're making tech content, look and see what plumbers are doing. Look and see what electricians are doing. Look and see what motivational channels are doing. And transparency here, because Evan Carmichael's in the chat, like I've looked at his channel, right? I've looked at Evan's channel and I'm like, okay, what kind of stuff is he making here that I would be able to kind of reconfigure into YouTube content, right? Into stuff that would serve YouTube content creators, right? So just look outside of your own space for just general ideas on just different things that other people are doing. And also just try to find like different pain points, that your audience has. Like I'm sure you get filled with comments to where people are like, okay, well, I have this piece of tech, but then this piece of tech, like I need further understanding. Like make that video. Right? Yeah. It might not be the best video, but it might end up being your best video because you're serving the audience, right? So you can also pull your comments for that. You can also go up into the YouTube autocomplete. And basically what that is if you just go to the YouTube search bar, and I'll show you real quick if D will pull up my thing right here in a second.
Evan says, I love all the camera angle switches. #next level.
Thanks, Evan.
Thanks, Evan. Much appreciated, man.
So like right up here, for example, like you have the YouTube autocomplete. So at the YouTube autocomplete, like let's say that Tech 4, right? So here I've got like tech for college students, right? So here you could make videos about tech that's specific for college students, or tech that's specific for college students, or for a room, or for school, or for people under 50 years old, or tech for kids, or for back to school. And then you can start putting in like Tech for America. Oh, no, it's Teach for America. Sorry.
Oh,
I got a little carried away there. Yeah, it was so close.
Yeah, I was about ready to get the eagle out.
Yeah, tech for Android, tech for artists. And you can just start filling this in, right? Just start running through the alphabet and just see, all the different things that come up and start getting ideas this way. This is a fantastic way to do it. D, if you'll take this down real quick, and then I'll pull up Google as well.
It is down.
And show you how to do this also on Google.
Evan says, I need a 3 a.m. Nimmin duet. Any suggestions?
Okay, so here on if we
pull you back up,
if you don't mind.
Yep, you're up.
So here, this is another one. Like here on Google, I'm just gonna do like latest tech. Let's do that, latest tech. And then we're going to see what comes up here. Another thing you can do is you can go to websites that are based around, tech as well, and see the types of things that they're talking about, because they have whole teams of people that are trying to stay up with what's current, and you can look and see what it is that they're talking about. You can also scroll down to the bottom of Google, and then they're also going to have searches related to the latest tech. And then here you got like tech news sites, trending tech news. Some of these wouldn't really apply, but depending on what it is that you search, then some suggestions will come up there that you'll be able to lean on. D, if you take it down one more time.
Yep.
And I'm going to show you one more here.
Heaven's killing me. NWA would be awesome. I think Nick is too in the zone to sing that now.
Straight out of Compton. Crazy. No, I got to be careful. Yeah, I got to be careful with that one. Yeah. Got to be really careful with that one.
Copyright strikes are coming.
I know, right?
The claims are upon us. Pulling you back up.
Hey, do you remember that track you did a while back? and folks said that it wasn't going to work.
Yeah. No.
That old crazy track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So same exact thing
Back
you can
up?
do. Yeah.
Pointing back up.
Same
Okay.
thing you can do inside of TubeBuddy as well. So let's do like Tech for Students as an example, just because that was one that we pulled from Google because we're just kind of brainstorming this. So you have like Tech for Students, and then you can go here, and then they're going to give you related video searches, things that other people that are looking for related to this. They're going to show you some different tags that you can also use for ideas. They're going to show you like web searches as well, depending on what it is. They're also going to show you some actual video topics also. But basically, like what you want to do is you want to just use these tools at your disposal and just start cranking through different ideas. And of course, just what's funny, Evan, is he says D can do the beatbox. We were doing that right before the live stream.
Right.
Yeah, D had like a little beat going. He had
Right.
had us like a little groove. D, you want to take it away?
No, we're not going to do that now. I don't. You know why? Because I'll do something and you'll get like a claim.
Well, no, you can just beatbox. Like if you just beatbox, do like your own little groove because you're a musician.
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, right. We ready? Ready for a little beatbox?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to keep like a low key little.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Go.
There you go, man. There you go. That's all I got.
Yeah, that was good though.
That's all I got.
That was solid.
There you go.
Yeah. That's funny. All right.
Never thought I would be beatboxing on the internet.
Hey,
that's the beauty of this. Like you never know.
That is the beauty.
You never know where the journey is going to take you.
Yeah.
The power of video right there.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So so Evan, if you want to see me rap on Brian G. Johnson's channel, we actually have an entire diss track over on Brian G. Johnson's channel as a response to like another thing a friend did.
Evan
it's hilarious.
says you're welcome. Yeah, I'll be at the BET Awards next year, Evan, if you want to see me on there.
Oh, man. Okay. So next up on our questions list here, we've got, let's see here, Good Gaming. Good Gaming says that they are just doing YouTube for fun. They said, is streaming on YouTube for a long period of time recommended, or should there be a time in a channel's life where videos should be produced? So here's something that I just want you to consider. It all comes down to what it is that you are trying to do, right? So video content is typically the content that's expected on YouTube. So because of that, you want to consider making video content if you are trying to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish using video content. A lot of gamers will do live streaming because it's easy. They don't have to actually put the videos together themselves. They can just play the games like normal, which is a great way to get out a lot more content. Like if you're playing games every day anyway, and then you can just live stream it, and then you're kind of killing two birds with one stone, and that's a fantastic way to get out more content, and you can absolutely do that. But what I would recommend is that you just look and see how your audience is responding on your channel. Mm-hmm. Look and see how your audience is responding to your video content versus your live streaming content. And then once you see the response that you're getting for each, then start thinking of, okay, well, what kind of purpose am I going to give my video content? What kind of purpose am I going to give my live streaming content? So if my live streaming content is going to be for community engagement and for, just putting out an additional piece of content that people can consume and a way to get like super chats or something like that, then in that particular case, then you want to add that to what it is that you're doing, or you want to make sure that you do it from time to time. And then if your video content is like, hey, this is stuff that I'm going to use to be more discoverable, I'm going to optimize these for search, I'm going to spend more time on these thumbnails and producing the content itself so that I'm more likely to get recommended to other videos on YouTube, so I'm going to use these as more of a discovery mechanism, then in that case, if you're trying to grow the channel itself, then you might want to spend more time making more video content. So, it comes down to what it is that you're trying to do and looking at the content that you make and seeing how the people that YouTube is showing your content to is responding to each one, and then making the call from there on the purpose that you're going to give each piece of content.
So Unique Playzone says, I'm going to jump in here for a little bit. It says, please tell me about some free live stream apps on iPhone.
All right. This is D's department all day long.
It's funny you asked that because I have some free live. Oh, yeah. So here's what you got. First, you've got Prism Live Studio. Prism Live Studio is a brand new streaming app. It's available for both Android and iOS devices. You can live stream. You can put your chat on the live stream. You can gameplay with that. It's also a built-in video editor. Pretty basic. You can remove the watermark. Okay, so there's that. Then you also have the Streamlabs mobile app, which is also pretty good. Those are the two best free ones besides just the YouTube app that comes default. But if you want to take it up to the next level, you can check out Switcher Studio. So if you have multiple iPhones, let's say you have an iPad, maybe two iPhones, each iPhone can be a dedicated camera source, and then you can use your iPad as an actual camera switcher, and you can actually switch like we're doing right here. Fantastic. That's not free. That is paid, but it's totally worth it if you want to level up your live stream. So that's what I got for iPhone.
Okay. All right, that was good. That was good. That was a good list.
Yeah, and there was the other one at the new one at Vid Summit, but I can't remember their name.
There's also like Mob Crush, I think, is another one. I believe that's that's an app as well, right? Mob Crush, to where that one allows you to like multicast and stuff too.
Is it iPhone?
I'm not sure. You're the phone guy, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. You're the phone guy.
Cinemaker, thanks, Doug. It's
there we go.
Cinemaker.
Boom.
So Cinemaker is on par with Switcher Studio, where it takes however many iPhones you have, however many tablets you have, you can make a complete live streaming studio with just iOS devices.
Yeah. And
pretty amazing.
Evan wants to know what tech we're using for all of the switching and graphics.
Okay, Evan. So what we have here, we're using Streamlabs OBS.
Can you show the screen? Do you have that one set up?
Yeah, but we're going to go down that rabbit hole.
So it's okay. So we're going to go down a rabbit hole real quick, but you'll be able to see it.
So this is the Streamlabs OBS, right? This is what we're using to actually pull in all the camera sources. And then what we have is we have three cameras here, actually. We have a camera here. That's my camera. We've got a camera on Nick, and then we've got a wide shot, which I don't have it on right now.
Oh, okay.
And we're running all of this into Streamlabs OBS, and then we're using the Stream Deck, the Elgato Stream Deck, as a camera switcher and to cue all the graphics up. Basically, each one of these little buttons on the Stream Deck, you pre-program it. So whenever you tap on one, it will just show whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And Evan, if you're trying to get this set up, dude,
just holler.
Reach out to either one of us. I'm more than happy to hop on a call with you or whatever to walk you through to help you get this set up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the least I can do, man.
I know, right?
The least I can do for you. I would love to help you get started with this if you're interested. So yeah, just let me know.
Next question on our list is from Super Noob. Super Noob says that they've been on YouTube since 2 years. They do a variety channel and they're doing it just for fun. Says, how can I get more recognition? I only want to know because I'm getting a lot of phishing emails and I want to warn people, but I already know not many are going to see it. Okay, so what you do in that situation, if you're getting a lot of phishing emails, typically people are already spreading awareness about that. But if you are getting phishing emails, then one thing that you can do to add value to the community at scale or as a whole is you can hop on Reddit. They have an R YouTube subreddit, and on there you can actually go on there. You can go on R YouTubers on subreddit or on Reddit. You can go on YouTubers on Reddit, and you can basically let people know there. You can also go places like the TubeBuddy forum, let them know there. yttalk.com. It's like a forum for content creators. You can go there and let people know. You can of course tweet at myself and other people and D and other people that make content like us that are for the YouTube community. You can tweet at us and let us know as well. There's Facebook groups that you can go into, like Brian G. Johnson's Tube Ritual Facebook group, Daryl Eves Video Makers and Marketers Facebook group. There's also my YouTube and Video Tips Facebook group. You can go into all of those and you can let people know there. So outside of your own channel, there's also a bunch of different avenues that you can take if you're trying to inform people of the emails that are going around. Now, typically, people will tweet at us and we'll let people know, but we can't reach everybody. So because of that, any effort that you can put in to help spread awareness about that sort of thing so other content creators don't fall for it would be appreciated, and it would be an awesome thing to do.
So Evan says he's doing 8 to 12 hour live streams in January using the LiveView backpack.
Okay, nice. You're doing yeah, fantastic. Yeah,
so you're not going to be able to do all this switching with that?
Yeah, technically you can. You would have to talk to David and Luria at Live Streaming Pros because they know how to do this, but you can actually pipe that into like a system like this. So if you had somebody at home or somebody on your team,
right?
Yeah, you'd have to have somebody help you, but they could actually kind of move things back and forth to where you could have like graphics pop up or you could have other things like that. I know inside of the LiveView Solo, they have graphic packs as well, so you can also have some graphics and things like that pop up. But in terms of like multiple cameras and that sort of thing, I think the best way that you could do that would be to you would have the actual built-in camera, but you might also be able to connect like different mobile devices to the backpack as well, using something like Switcher Studio, because I know they're partners with LiveView, and then you would actually be able to run a multi-camera setup using a few different mobile phones with it as well.
Yeah.
So if they're hooking you up with that, just reach out to them and they'll be able to take you through the whole process, let you know exactly what it is that you need to do in order to make that happen if you're wanting to do like a multi-camera setup when you're traveling around.
Speaking of using your phone for live streaming, for anybody who is using OBS or Streamlabs OBS and you want to use your phone as a camera source, you can do that. You have to download an app. Any of the apps that are NDI, right? I use NDI Tech, TEK, and I don't have it set up on this phone here on this particular scene, but you can actually use your phone as a camera source and it just pipes it straight into Streamlabs or OBS. It's pretty cool. And yeah, it's actually really cool.
Yeah, it is.
You can
set
up
technology.
Yeah,
it's funny when you get used to the stuff.
It's kind of cool. No,
yeah,
it's amazing, actually.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, like it's incredible.
When you get used to it, it's kind of like, like that's pretty cool. Or like, darn it, this doesn't work.
Right.
But it's like, it's like at the, like really what it is, it's absolutely incredible.
It's absurdly awesome. It is what I'm trying to say.
Is. Yeah, we were playing with VR before we went live because I picked up an Oculus Quest VR system.
Right on, Evan, man. It is
so awesome. The tech is just mind-blowing with that stuff. It is so cool. All right, man, have a good sleep. Catch you later. See you in your dreams, man.
Yep.
See you in your dreams.
Remember that beatbox while you sleep, man. As you drift off to dreamland.
I was gonna stack on it.
Sweet dreams, Evan. Sweet dreams.
KY Jam says they've been on YouTube since January of 2019, and their question is we follow all the steps that YouTubers say will grow my channel, but we don't see anything near the growth they predict. First off, if somebody's predicting growth on your channel, specific saying, hey, if you do this, you're going to get X amount of views, you're going to get X amount of subscribers, they can't do that. They can say that you're going to improve, that you're going to get more, that by applying these particular things, that it's definitely going to bring you results as long as you apply them. Then that's something that can be said. But saying that you're going to get this specific result from it, people can't predict that. We don't like paying for subs or likes, and you shouldn't. Not only should you not like it, but it's actually against the YouTube terms of service, and you can lose your channel because of it. And if you have paid for subs and likes in the past, that might be one of the reasons that things aren't going your way. Because here's what happens. When you're paying for subscribers and you're paying for that engagement on your channel, then what happens is you end up having this inflated subscriber count of people that don't care about your content. And if people don't care about your content, when it's served to them on the platform, then what's going to happen is they're not going to click on it because they don't care. And when they're not clicking on it, then that very first sample group, when you first publish a video, that very first sample group that YouTube shows your content to, they're not going to respond to it. And since they're not going to respond to it, then YouTube's going to deem that as something that your general audience isn't interested in, which can limit the actual performance of the video itself. So just as a heads up there. And you're saying that it's been a year and only 16 people have subscribed. Is this normal? You definitely want to... Hold on. We won't stop making videos. It's fun, enjoyable experience that updates our video making skills and our friendship. That's good. So you're focused on that, which is great. In terms of making sure that you're making more content and you're seeing the bigger picture in terms of generating friendships from it and the big picture. However, I'm just going to look at your channel here real quick. Okay, other things too. Like I'm looking at your channel right now, and you have titles like Life Story, Soccer Thief. And in your situation, like with the thumbnails that you're making here, like How to Milkshake, like your titles need to be more compelling. Like Aaron's Moans, for example. In order for people to care about Aaron's Moans, they have to know who Karen is, or Aaron is. They have to care about the moans. This particular thumbnail isn't, per my taste, isn't something that I would click on either. So like, okay, here's the thing. I can tell you right now that if you go into your stats, you're going to be able to see that people just aren't responding to this stuff, like how you're titling and all that. So we just mentioned about the YouTube Creator Academy. I really recommend that you go through the YouTube Creator Academy. They have an entire section on discovery. In the discovery section, talking about writing titles and descriptions and thumbnails and all that stuff. I really recommend that you go through all of that for the sake of getting a better understanding of how to write titles that people are going to be more responsive to. Because if you're missing that step, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, if you're missing that step of being able to get people to click on your titles and thumbnails, then everything else doesn't matter, right? Because if people aren't clicking, they're not going to have the opportunity to watch that awesome video that you have. So because of that, you need to make sure that you are really spending some time learning how to make good titles and thumbnails, because if they're not clicking, then it's not going to do anybody any good at all. Right, D?
Right.
All right. So next up,
trying to get this NDI thing to work.
Oh, Next up is Wow Amazing. Wow Amazing says that they're doing this for a hobby. Says, I've been following your tips for 2 years before starting my channel, and I've reached 1,000 subscribers. Nice job. But I keep losing subs, so please tell me how I can maintain my subscribers, and please review my channel. Okay, so we're not looking at channels today, but what I can tell you is that it's normal to lose subscribers. On my YouTube channel, I've lost over 100,000 subscribers over time.
That's a lot.
So,
That's a lot.
yeah, so just as a heads up, like losing subscribers is a normal part of the thing, and here's why. One, YouTube does purges, and basically those purges are where they remove inactive, or they remove bot accounts, or they remove spam accounts, that kind of stuff. So if somebody's going around and they're doing like the sub for sub thing, for example, then
I got it working.
Then if they get complaints on that person doing sub for sub, then what's going to happen is YouTube can actually delete their account because they're spamming YouTube with sub for sub. So like all of those things happen to where those will make subscribers account or accounts get deleted, and when those accounts get deleted, then you're going to lose those subscribers. In addition to that, you also have to where people will subscribe for your channel for one thing, and then you upload something else that isn't necessarily what it is that they're into, and because of that, what happens is we're using the mobile camera. This is cool. We can like move it around.
We're going mobile here.
Yeah, this is cool. So basically, like you can use the I was gonna say use the mobile camera, but basically like with your with losing subscribers, like if they subscribe your channel for one thing and then you publish for something else, or you published a video that is something that they're not necessarily interested in, like on the topic level, then in that particular case, that can also cause people to unsubscribe. In addition to that, if somebody subscribed to your channel for one thing, and then you are giving that thing, but maybe it's not something that they're continually going to be interested in, then they can also unsubscribe for that. People can also subscribe, forget that they subscribe to you at all, and then all of a sudden your video gets presented to them somewhere on the platform, or they get an email notification, and then they click on it, and then they don't even remember subscribing to your channel, and they're like, hey, I don't even remember subscribing, so I'm just going to unsubscribe because this particular video that they showed me isn't something I'm interested in, so I'm out of here. But losing subscribers is a normal part of being a content creator. So if you have a subscriber loss, and if you have 1,000 and then it keeps going down a little bit and then back up and down a little bit, that's a normal thing. You're going to lose a ton of subscribers over the course of what it is that you're doing on YouTube.
I love this shot. We need a camera, right? Like a legit camera right here.
Okay.
So those, but man, it's too bad Evan left.
Yeah.
Right.
So he could see the mobile version.
Right.
Yeah.
So if anybody's wondering, so this is the stream.
You know, we could put it right up there on the bar up there.
Yeah. So this is the Elgato Stream Deck right here. This is actually the XL. This is the large version. And this is what I look at when we're sitting here. So I've got this going on. This is Streamlabs here. I've got a monitor. This is just an old iPad here that I've repurposed, and I'm just keeping track of everything.
Brian Boltwood, I want to thank you again for the other super chat as well.
And I'm using the NDI New Tech app.
That is a cool angle. I like that.
Yeah. My hand's shaking from holding it out here, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I dig it. So
I dig it too.
I can come right in here.
Yeah, we can do like that mobile feel to where it's kind of like we're like on the fly. So we're on location right here inside of the Nimmin Live studio, and we are sharing what you can do on YouTube to get better results here on YouTube. I'm Nick.
Super chat.
I need to put this in a gimbal so it's smooth.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Right?
Can you go wide with that view?
No, it's not letting me go
wide. It's
wide.
in the app? Okay.
Yeah.
Fresh Cuts Lawn Maintenance, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that so much. Thank you.
I can probably go gimbal, though. This is cool.
Stamper Dog says, boy, you guys have a clean studio. No, we do not. Yeah, actually, I don't even know why this Alexa's sitting here right now, actually. That shouldn't even be there. I'm going to move that.
Could you see it?
Yeah.
Was it visible?
Yeah, well, it was for me. Maybe they couldn't see it. But yeah, so when it comes to a clean studio, this place is the opposite of that. It's just what you see on camera is clean. But it literally looks like a tornado came through here, like legit. Like your parents probably said that, like when you're growing up and they're like, oh my God, this room looks like a tornado. And you were like, you know what? This does not look like a tornado. It's just messy. This place looks like a tornado. Like legit looks like a tornado.
And this is where I thrive.
It is.
It
is. Not me. Not me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, next question that we have here is from...
I'm glad it works, though.
Yeah, it works great, actually. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I wonder, because that's the new iPhone. I wonder if that also, like the processor in there and all that stuff helps it look better. Because it looks great.
It looked a little bit yellow, but it could be because... I don't have any filters on there. Whoa,
sorry. Is it still on? Oh, no, it's frozen.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Uh-oh, panic. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it could be the settings that I have on here. I'll have to double check it.
Combat Sports World. Cool name. Intriguing. Let's see here. They want to branch into a future career in combat sports. Very cool. If I had very bad best practices in the past and believe the channel is being throttled They don't throttle channels. Will YouTube forgive these issues with best practices? Cursing, risky title, thumbnails, etc. Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, maybe you might be. And restore the channel to its previous state. Also, will these previous issues and best practices cause issues with future monetization, or is it worth it to start the fresh channel? Thanks for everything you do, Nick. My pleasure. Okay, so here's what you want to do. What I would recommend that you do is you go through and you clean up all the stuff in the past, because that's still on the channel. If you haven't cleaned that up, I would go through and I would clean that up, make sure that it's not as risky, so to speak, and then start putting out your new content. And with that new content, of course, I would try to keep everything as clean as you possibly can. Of course, cursing isn't something to where like you can still curse, but it can, according to YouTube, it can have an impact. And one of the things that they are looking for, and they've mentioned this in a few occasions, actually on the Creator Insiders channel, is it's actually they're scanning the beginning of the video for the specific language. So I don't know if it's like they're looking for a certain amount of language being used in the beginning or whatever. So in that situation, I would just go through and I would just start kind of sterilizing your content a little bit for the sake of, making sure that you are being able to still leverage your current channel. That is, if you already have a following. If you already have a following on that channel. If you don't have a following on that channel, then I would just start a new one. But if you already have a following on that channel and you're wanting to basically leverage that following, then in that situation, then I would just go through and I would do a cleanup session where I would just clean up anything that you think would be limiting you, and then just start moving forward again on that particular channel. Okay, and for the super chat, let me go in here and answer this real quick. Says Kiara Chantel says, how do you get YouTube to recommend your videos? So you get YouTube to recommend your videos by making content that people respond to. And I know that sounds like a lame answer, but it's legit. So basically, if people are like, you want to think of YouTube in terms of like a chain of response, okay? And that chain of response is basically your video gets presented to somebody, and your thumbnail gets presented to somebody. So that little initial package of your thumbnail and title, that gets shown to somebody on YouTube. Are people responding to it? If the answer is yes, then you just put a point in your direction. If the answer is no, then you're putting negative points, and you're basically limiting your ability to get recommended. From there, once they click on it, for the people that do, then once they land on your video content, if you're accumulating a lot of watch time for every user that comes into that piece of video content, then that video is going to be deemed as a video that is a higher piece of content, right? It's going to be a piece of content that is going to be a performer, right? Like this video, when people come to it, it's something that people are watching for an extended period of time, then that's going to be another point in your favor. If your videos, people land in your videos, and then your video tanks, so to speak, in terms of the retention, just drops down really low, and then people aren't really watching it. We call that the hockey stick effect. But if people go in and they're not really watching the video, and most of them are leaving in the very beginning, then that's going to be an underperforming video, and then that's also going to reduce your ability to get recommended. And then we take that a step further, and we look at engagement, and we say, okay, well, we got people to click, we're getting people to watch, a lot of people to click, a lot of people to watch. Now, how are people engaging in the content? Are they sharing the videos out? Are they adding them to playlists? Are they giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down? Are they commenting on the videos themselves? Are people actually having conversations in your comment sections? Like, how much engagement is going on around this video, right? And then you look at that, and if you can fill in that entire chain, and then at the end of that chain, you also have people subscribing and then coming back for more content, then that's going to help you just as a whole. But in terms of getting recommended, it's important that that entire chain is intact of people responding all the way through. And the higher your response rate all the way through, the higher your chances are of getting recommended next to other content on YouTube, or ending up on the home pages of a bunch of people as well. So what you need to do as a content creator is you need to go into your analytics. You need to look for those holes. So you need to look at your video content, see exactly how people are responding to your video content, and then start looking at that as your challenge and say, okay, well, this is what my audience retention is saying on a per video level. This is what my audience retention is saying on how people are responding to this. They're leaving at this point. They're not watching past this point. I can't hardly get anybody to the end, or I'm getting a bunch of people to the end. This is going great. But my thumbnails and my titles are something that people aren't responding to. So now I need to work on that. And you can see that with your click-through rate and your impressions data inside of your performance funnel there, inside of your analytics as well. But basically, the recommended videos, and just like the videos on the homepage, both of those happen because people are responding to the content, right? People are responding to the content, and people are watching like this video next to this video, and that can cause them to get recommended as well. But that's like a bigger picture thing. But if you're just trying to get your foot in the door, you get your foot in the door by making content that people respond to all the way through that chain I was just talking about. Hopefully that explained it for you. Little Crafty Nook says, yes, we tried. Hey, we got a Vsauce in here. That's cool. It's a fake Vsauce, but it's in here. It's funny. Okay, next up on our list, let me go through.
Total Voice Studio just dropped a super chat with a question.
Okay, how to include music for teaching about music. Okay, so if you are wanting...
Super chat.
Oh, another one come through?
Yep.
Okay, so if you are wanting to include music, I'm not sure... Music. I'm not sure if you are going to be doing like covers. I'm not sure if you're doing like original music. Original music, you can just use like your original music. But if you're doing covers, then in that particular case, here's the thing with using other people's content for music, doing covers, any of that stuff, is you're running a risk. You're always running a risk. And I really recommend that in that situation, here's the thing, these laws are always changing. You see what's happening to kids channels right now with the FTC, and that's going to ripple through everybody. We're all going to see that impacting us in one way or another. And because laws change and because these things change over time, making content and putting hours into making a video and putting hours into optimizing that video and to making your thumbnails and putting hours into learning your analytics and developing the skills in order to make content that people respond to and all that stuff, all the time that goes into this, in my personal opinion, using popular music as an example, using popular music in order to teach people about it. Sure, fair use, you might be able to get away with that now. And I would consult a lawyer, because in the event that you need to use one, you want to make sure that they, are on your side about the specific use of each individual track that you're using. But if you are going to lean on fair use for it, then in that situation, you're creating a situation for yourself to where it might be okay now, but in 3 years or 2 years or next year or tomorrow, they might make a new law that says all of a sudden that doesn't work anymore. Now you're going to have to take all that content off of YouTube, and those videos were the primary traffic drivers to your channel. Now your traffic on your channel stops and everything kind of grinds to a halt. And this, I'm just, kind of spitballing like a worst case scenario here, but those changes do take place and you can actually see them happening over time. Like with the copyright stuff that happened on YouTube in the first place, with the FTC problems that we're having now on the platform. So these things do happen, but there are services that are coming up right now, like Lickd, for example, is one. LIKD, is that what it is?
Yes, LIKD.
Yeah, LIKD, and if I think you can just go to Lickd.com, or you can just search for them. But basically, they're a service that is working out contracts with some of the record labels, and they are basically making it to where content creators can pay a licensing fee, and it's a relatively low licensing fee, and then they'll be able to use that popular music in their videos,
like radio songs.
Yeah, just like radio. Yeah, stuff you
hear. I think it's about $8 per song. I think.
Okay, yeah, so about $8 a song, and then it's going to basically give you the rights to use that in a limited manner. So so things like that, you want to make sure that you are trying to tap into that and protect yourself more than anything, because down the road you don't know how those rules are going to change and how it's going to impact you. So I really recommend that you when you're putting all this stuff together, that you think really long term. And let me tell you a story real quick, and then I'll get into some of these other super chats. On my channel, so I put up,
Andrew Can said we need to drink water, so you need to pause.
Yep, thanks Andrew.
Pause, hydration moment, ladies and gentlemen. Now's a perfect time to hydrate yourself.
Grab a drink real quick and hydrate yourself if you're just sitting there.
Right.
Hydration is important.
Hydration is important. Brian D. Johnson learned the hard way.
He did, actually. So what was I saying there?
You learned the hard way?
Oh, yeah. So, on my channel, when I first started on YouTube, just like everybody else, I had no idea what it was that I was doing. And when I first started on YouTube, my third or fourth video, it was one of my first videos. And basically, I made a video that was showing people how to download a thumbnail from YouTube. And this was before YouTube made it available to download your own thumbnails. And basically, in that video, I showed people how to go into the code of YouTube and download a thumbnail. And I even made the disclaimers. I was like, hey, this is something that you want to use for personal use, and you don't want to use other people's thumbnails because they're copyright protected, blah, blah, blah. And what happened is, last year, I would say it's probably been a year now, wouldn't you, D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been longer than a year.
Yeah. So a little bit over a year. And remember, I started my channel 5 years ago, and a little bit over a year ago, 4 years later, I got a community guideline strike on that old video, because I was showing people how to circumvent YouTube's system by going into the code and then getting the thumbnails that way, even though you could still download a thumbnail directly from YouTube. Now, I was able to get that claim lifted, fortunately, thanks to the help of Andrew Can, who's in this chat right now, and through some connections that he had, in terms of being able to bring it up to a higher level person at YouTube to help, make that call. But you know, you just want to keep all these things in mind, because the stuff that you're doing right now, you don't want it to come back to haunt you, you know, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you know, once your channel gets to a size to where, you know, things really start to matter in terms of all the activity that's happening on your channel and all the benefits that you're gaining from it. You don't want things that you're doing now to end up coming to bite you later, so to speak. So, but yeah, look into services like Licked, for example, and see if you can, you know, work something out there in order to do it.
And I'm going to take that a step further, and be careful if you're getting your tracks from other YouTube channels.
Yes.
So there's a lot of YouTube channels
or any free places online.
Right.
Any free places online. If you're paying for it,
right.
If you're paying for it, then you get a license with it. If you're getting it free, then most of the places they won't give you a license for it because they can't.
Did you just hear that?
What?
There's like something exploded outside.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it was like a transformer exploded or something outside.
We might lose power.
Yeah, if we go dark here in a moment,
we'll be back.
We'll be back. Yeah, so here's the thing with a lot of the free channels on YouTube and anywhere out there, really. Let's say somebody uses a drum loop, right? Like, hey, I'm going to make an original song, but I'm not a drummer. And I'm not going to make my own drum track, even though I could, but I'm going to use a drum track from a popular song, just a few seconds of it. And they use that drum track in their free song that they give you that you can use in your channel.
Or even worse, let's say they download a bunch of like drum loops from like a website somewhere that's like, hey, here's some free drum loops that you can use, but then they actually use it, but they don't have the rights from those people.
You'll get burned for that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You'll get a claim or a strike for that. So like seriously, get your music from the YouTube audio library, get it from Epidemic Sound, get it from MusicBed, get it from Licked, get it from reputable places.
Yes.
This is very important.
Lizat Holmes says, what does it mean when TubeBuddy asks permissions to change the content of your YouTube channel? It's a fantastic question. What that means is, and basically TubeBuddy has things called bulk tools, and basically those bulk tools allow you to do things like, let's say you want to add an affiliate disclaimer to all of your descriptions on your channel at once. Then what you can do is you can use one of the bulk tools to actually go in and you can put that disclaimer in there, and you can say add at this particular point in my description, and then they'll go through and they'll put that in all of your video descriptions as an example, and they just do it in like a systematic way. Then in order for them to be able to do that, then they have to have permissions in order to do that.
And
so
specifically, I want to get really specific here, because Andrew Can, who's in the chat right now, he actually works for TubeBuddy. And his answer to that is in addition to what Nick said, is it's also a Google requirement for them to ask in that particular way.
I didn't know that.
Based on the permissions that they need, it's a Google requirement.
Interesting.
But they're not actually going to delete your content.
Yeah, they're not going to delete your content. There's no benefit there. Like the thing is, basically, in order to do the things that the tool needs to do, they just need that permission in order to be able to use the tool, right? So in order to be able to use it to its potential, I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but in order to be able to use it, you need to be able to do that.
Right.
And then the next one here is from Danny Moore. Says longer videos, 6 to 7 minute average view duration. You're welcome. I'm not sure what this means. Hold on. Longer videos, 6 to 7 average view duration. YW, you're welcome. If you could clarify, I'm not sure if that is a question or if you were answering something. I'm not sure what that is. Can you form a question out of that, D?
I saw that coming in, and no, I cannot form a question.
Yeah, if you could clarify that would be awesome, just so I can make sure that we get your question answered. Okay, now as we go into the next question here, and next question is from Straight Talkin' Fedora Chick. Nice. Okay, so Straight Talkin' Fedora Chick says that they are raising mental health awareness. Any idea when Streamlabs app will have a version for Mac? Great question. I do not know. I know that like a year ago they were in development. They were actually talking about, they're saying that, it's coming, relatively soon, but they did never put a date on it. So I think they're working on it still, but I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out.
Ecamm.
In the meantime, that's what I was going to say.
In the meantime.
Yeah, in the meantime, you can use, what's it called?
Ecamm.
Yeah, Ecamm Live?
Yeah, ECAMM Live, Ecamm Live.
Yeah, so you can use Ecamm Live. You can also use things like...
StreamYard, you can use Wirecast.
Well, she was talking about the app.
Oh, the app?
Yeah, no, because she said Mac. Okay, so yeah, you can also use like Streamlab and StreamYard and Be Live and some places like that.
Yeah.
Ace Me Crank says, let's see here, they're in gaming. The goal of the channel is just entertainment. Thumbnails are great, but they only help if YouTube likes to push your content. That's not true. That is nonsense. Yeah, that's not true. Are there any resources out there for us who seem to be failing SEO? despite having all the tools. So basically, the resources out there are all over YouTube in terms of how to optimize your content for search. But in terms of YouTube pushing your content, it doesn't work that way. So D and I actually had a conversation with Todd when we were at Vid Summit. And one of the things that
Todd works for YouTube.
Yeah.
Todd, like the homepage for YouTube, when you first go onto YouTube, the homepage, that's his responsibility.
Yeah.
We talking for a good 30 minutes.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good 30-minute conversation with him. Go.
But one of the things that he mentioned is that YouTube isn't YouTube doesn't like it's not that it pushes your content per se, it's that YouTube finds the content that the viewers are the most likely to watch. So it's not that you publish a video and they push it out to people for the sake of, hey, you need to see this. It's more like when you publish a piece of content, YouTube says who's most likely to watch this particular video right now, and then it starts showing the video to those people. So it's not that YouTube doesn't push your content, or YouTube. Here's the thing. YouTube doesn't have a I like this channel, I don't like this channel thing going on. So anybody that thinks that YouTube is like restricting you in some way, as long as you're making content that doesn't violate community guidelines and that you're not making content about like guns and that kind of stuff. If you're making like, I'll just call it like normal content, then YouTube is not restricting you in any way. It comes down to you. Yeah. It comes down to you, and it comes down to how your videos are performing. It comes down to how good you are at writing titles. It comes down to how good you are at putting the content together itself. If you're presenting in the content, it comes down to how good you are at presenting. It comes down to how well you know your audience, how well you know the content that your audience wants to watch. Because here's the thing, if YouTube is pushing your content out in front of a bunch of people that don't want to watch it, then it's not going to do you any good, right? So they're not pushing your content out. However, if you know your audience, you know the content that they want to watch, then when you make that piece of content and you publish it, YouTube is going to show that content to the people that are most likely to watch it. And since you know your audience and you know them well and you know the content they respond to, then when you make that content, then you're going to drastically increase the likelihood of YouTube showing your content to those people, because those are the people that are the most likely to watch it at that point in time. So it's not YouTube that's holding you back, it's you and your thoughts of YouTube holding you back that are actually holding you back.
Right. So you've got topics, you got titles, you got thumbnails, you got the video itself. Like if you're not succeeding on YouTube, you're missing out on one or any number of those things. Mm-hmm. So like he said, if YouTube's not stopping anyone, YouTube wants to show your videos because they want to put ads on your videos. YouTube look, they're a business. Mm-hmm. They want to run ads on your videos. They want to make money off of your video. Yeah. Right. That's what they want to do. They're not holding anybody back. It doesn't matter what size your channel is. The thing is, and this isn't what anyone wants to hear. Right. It's just that you have not yet built the skills to be found on the platform yet, or you have not yet built the skills for people to find value in what it is that you're making. It could just be your presentation style. Could be that you're doing everything right, but your audio sucks. And as soon as somebody clicks in, it's like, oh God, that's horrible. And they bounce. So it's just, look, you got to build those skills. You got to learn how to do all the things.
And just for reference, really quick, D, if you don't mind me cutting you off, like just
I
for,
care.
I'm on. Just for reference, you know, like on my channel, people look at my channel now, and you know, with the subscribers that I have on my channel, it's like, wow, Nick's got a lot of subscribers. But what you don't see is you don't see that first like year of me like just grinding it out, trying to improve my skill sets before I made some good content decisions to actually, you know, get the channel to start doing well. So like that entire year of, hey, I'm just trying to get better at this. Like that's the stuff that people don't see. You can see it if you go back through the content, but like that's the stuff that you're going through right now if you're not getting those results. But you can't blame YouTube for it. You have to own it yourself, because if you're putting the blame on YouTube, that takes your responsibility out of the situation, and that takes what it is that you need to do to improve out of the situation, and that takes the spotlight off of you and puts it on YouTube. But in reality, you need to turn it back on you, because it's you that has to, you know, learn how to do all this stuff in order to get YouTube to work in your favor.
I like to think of it like this. What happens, right? Take anyone in the chat right now. What happens? I toss you a basketball. Here's a basketball court. I toss you a basketball. You're not an NBA player.
But guess what? You're going to the NBA today, buddy.
Right? Yeah. Right. But that's the thing. It's like, hey, I've got a basketball and I'm standing on the court and I can dribble a little bit and I can shoot and I miss most of the time.
Yep. Sometimes I make it.
Why, you know, why am I not Michael Jordan?
Right.
All right. Why
can't I dunk on these dudes?
Why can't I dunk? Yeah. Right. Like you've got to learn. You got to learn to play, and you got to learn how to dribble. You got to learn all that stuff. You got to learn how to play with a team. You got to learn all the things to be a great basketball player, and you got to practice and practice and practice and practice. Yeah. YouTube, it's the exact same way. Like this isn't like this crazy conspiracy to hold down small creators. None of that stuff. It's like you have to be better.
They don't give you participation trophies here.
Right.
They don't give you participation trophies.
Yeah, you have to get better. You have to build the skills, and that requires practice and just repetition and learning how to make one. Look, you make one video and you say, okay, I'm going to make a second video. What can I improve?
Hey, Bigard, what's up, man?
Video? Right? Pick one thing out of the video that you made and say, okay, well, I could have done that better. And then when you make your next video, make that better. And then your next video, make that better. It's a process. You got to go through it. Everybody has to go through it. If you're not growing, it's on you 100%.
Lilycraft Nook says, if you toss me that basketball, I'd miss it and it would hit me in the gut.
Right. Well, here's the thing.
I'm there with you. Yeah.
Here's the
You
thing.
would not want me on an NBA court.
You wouldn't even want me to touch the basketball.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can't even dribble. But that's the thing though, right? Like a lot of people, you want to be in the game, but you don't want to practice.
Right.
Or you just want to practice when it's, when it's convenient.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to sweat.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. So Danny Moore just replied. They said, I mean, a lot of YouTubers make longer videos. They get 7-minute average view duration and then their channel blows up.
Yeah, so what you want to do in that situation is you want to see how your audience responds to your content. So in your particular case, depending on the type of content that you make, Tier Talk, what's up? But depending on the type of content that you make, your audience might end up watching for that amount of time, or your audience might like shorter videos, or your audience might they might watch videos of yours that are 20 minutes long instead. They might want, depending on the type of content you might make 30-minute documentaries and people watch for 30 minutes of those 30 minutes. So, it all depends on the content that you're making and how your audience is responding. And like that's what we mentioned before, is that's why it's so important to make sure that you go into your analytics and you actually see in your specific case how people are responding to what it is that you're doing. Because if you are trying to hit that 6-7 view duration mark, then if you I literally have a video on my channel that is one of my highest performing videos, and I have a 56-second average view duration on it.
Dude.
56 seconds.
All of my top videos on my channel have terrible audience retention, but you know what? They outperform the other videos for the same title.
Sure.
Right? You just have to outperform the next people,
yeah.
The next people, right?
And with that also, I've also seen videos that will have like a 15-minute average view duration, and they're like not performing very well, just because of again, it's that whole chain, right? You got to do all the things. So it's not just one of the things. You got to do all the things.
There's a really cool feature inside of Studio Beta. Do they have it in Classic? I don't remember. Where you can actually check your relative.
Yes. It's in both.
Is it both?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So do you want to show them how to do? Can you without? You probably can't show there right now. Do you hear that?
C3PO T-shirt for.
Hey, do you hear that?
Kathan Plays YT says, yeah, I hear it. Says,
weird.
Is Nick wearing a C3PO T-shirt? Absolutely, I am wearing a C3PO T-shirt.
I've got some weird noise.
Yeah, it's like
that's
I'm
weird.
hearing it too.
Yeah. So anyway, you can go into your analytics and you can look at relative content.
Revelator Alf, what's up?
Relevant view average view duration. Relative, and it will show you how you compare to other videos that
of the same length.
Of the same length, right? So it gives you an idea of how you're averaging out. So Beanie says, and this is okay. So Daryl says, Daryl's reinforcing. Where to go? Daryl's reinforcing the point that if you're doing everything right, then it might just be that your content stinks, and you got to work on making better content. Yeah, that's right. True. Like, look,
that ownership, man. You got to.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It hurts. I got to drop a super chat. It hurts. Nobody wants to say, you know what, I'm not very good at this.
Yeah.
Nobody wants.
Or people aren't responding to my videos the way that I wish they would.
It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. Like you're an artist, you paint this, and people are like, eh.
Right.
Like, oh man, like I put work into that.
Right.
Like I spent like a week painting that or 2 weeks painting that or whatever.
Hey, I made this song. Listen to this song.
Sorry, that song sucks.
Yeah, that's really like you. Yeah, it's not that great.
Nobody wants to hear that the stuff that they made, the stuff that they poured their whatever into, right? That stuff inside, you get it out there, and people just don't respond to it. That hurts, and nobody wants to take that responsibility and just say, hey, you know what? I just got to be better. But that's the fact. Like if maybe you are doing everything right, like Daryl, like Beanie said, Daryl says. You just got to get better. Mm-hmm. It sucks. But like, you know what? I suck at basketball. I suck at ice hockey. I suck at lots of things, but because I don't put time into those things. I don't try.
You suck at not being awesome, D. That's what you suck at.
I suck at cooking. Yes, I totally suck. And by the
Tier Talk.
I love that channel.
It's a great channel.
You suck at cooking. Yeah,
Tier Talk says, hello, gentlemen. Quick question. I reached over 10,000 subscribers. High five and fist bump to you for 10,000 subs. For some reason, I can't unlock the YouTube space in New York. It keeps saying that my email doesn't correspond with an account with 10,000 subscribers. So if you just recently crossed it, it might be that.
Give it time.
One thing that you can do is if you go to Google right now and you just type in Google. Actually, you can just do it from inside of your Creator Studio. So go inside of your Creator Studio, and then in the very bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see help and feedback. If you click on that, then you'll be able to actually reach out to them, and then you can figure out the details there, and talk to actually a support person and figure out why, why there's inconsistencies there. One thing that can happen, I'm not sure how old your channel is, but if your channel is really old, and by really old, I just mean that you're able to have it as a brand account, then in that case, in some cases, like you might have set it up as like a brand account, and then by doing that, you had the additional email attached, and it could be causing some confusion there, so you might want to look into that. But if you just hit them up on support, they should be able to get you taken care of. Office Mystic says, growth from Google Ads, same as paying for subs. I grew by nearly 100 testing with credit, but not sure if those aren't quality subs. So it's not the same as paying for subs, because what you're doing in that situation is you're advertising. So when you pay for subscribers, what that means is you're using like a service of some kind to send like X amount of subscribers to your YouTube channel. When you are paying, when you're using Google Ads or YouTube Ads, what you're doing in that situation is you are basically marketing your channel, which is a totally different thing, because if you're marketing your channel, there's no guarantee of a certain number of subscribers or a certain interaction with your content. The content itself has to be good enough to actually convince people to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So because of that, you're not actually buying subscribers, you're marketing the channel, which is a totally different thing. Now, in terms of not knowing if they're quality or not, that's where it becomes really important to make sure that you know who it is that you're wanting to reach. What you can do in this situation is you can actually look in your analytics now, and you can see, or before, you can go to the date range before you start running your ads, and you can see the type of people that are already responding to your content. Go and break it down by the age range and see who's watching your content for the longest, because those are the people that are the most into what it is that you're doing. And then basically take the demographic information for all of those people, for the people that are just high response people for your content. Yeah, I hear it again. For all the people that are high response people to your content.
Is your phone ringing? Are you getting? This sounds
Nope.
like a phone interference.
It does. It might just be because we're live in the day. There might be stuff going on in the building.
Yeah, it's so weird.
But basically, if you go in there and you look at basically the demographics that are already responding to your channel, then you can use that as like a base starting point of who it is that you're trying to attract. Now, of course, based on the specific type of content that you make, you want to make sure that you're considering that as well, and you want to basically start fine tuning that so that if you are going to be running ads on your stuff, that you are doing it that you're running ads in front of the right people, instead of just kind of throwing stuff out there. One thing that you can do for that is you can run discovery ads to where if somebody searches for a specific thing, to where you'll pop up there, and then that way it's just a little bit more targeted than just running like general ads on just a certain demographic of people, for example. All right, Brian Boltwood says perfect. Hey, Hybrid, nice to see you, man. Missed you at Vid Summit, man. Where were you, man? You should have been at Vid Summit. So just to bring everybody up to speed, what we're doing here is we are answering YouTube questions. I'm getting ready to go back in there right now and start answering some more questions from the forum, but that forum is in the description down below. So if you want your question answered, head down there. I also want to let you know that this stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, which is the #1 browser plugin for YouTube content creators. It helps you manage your channel, helps you like test your thumbnails, helps you find the right tags for your videos, the right topics for your videos, all of that stuff. But you can install TubeBuddy at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin, so you can see what TubeBuddy can do for you. I've got a link in the description as well. And just as a heads up, that is an affiliate link. And if you do get TubeBuddy through that, I will gain a commission. Thank you for that. But even if you don't do it through the affiliate link, I still recommend that you install TubeBuddy. Even if you don't do it through that, you can still just go to tubebuddy.com and install it there. It's an amazing tool, and I recommend that you use it regardless of what link that you use to install it. So Brian Boltwood says, what best places to run ads to gain subs and views? So here's the thing, is if you are on YouTube, everybody's already on YouTube that you're trying to reach, because those are the people that are sitting back and they're dedicating time to watching video content. So because of that, I would start with YouTube for the sake.
Daniel Battelle, this stream.
Hey, Daniel.
This stream better be brought to us by Folgers. I need coffee.
We'll work on that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work on that one, Daniel.
Folgers. I haven't heard that name in a long time, right?
Me too.
Folgers.
But basically, I would start with YouTube, because people are already on YouTube, and the expectation of, hey, I'm on YouTube, I'm watching videos, I've got the time to spend, I'm looking around for stuff to watch. Like, those are the people that you want to be hitting when you are first dipping your feet in that water, so to speak. Folgers crystals.
Folgers, right?
Put a little, Put a little Folgers in your cup. Is that no? That's not it. It's put something in your cup.
Daniel says the best part of waking up
it's Folgers in your cup.
Is
that's
Nimmin in your cup.
Oh yeah,
that
good.
just got weird.
That did.
You don't want it. You don't want any Nimmin in your cup.
Yeah, that's
I promise
true.
you.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
A.G. Michael Jr.
All right. So let's see here. So we
Nimmin
got
in
through
your
that.
cup.
So let's go to another question here. So from Metallic is the channel name. Also gaming. I do stuff for fun. I'm not too competitive when it comes to YouTube. Is there a particular procedure for self-promotion we should use to maybe gain more views? Like many fellow small creators, I want to avoid spam and spread my stuff to the correct communities. That's a great way to go.
Yep.
Avoiding spam is smart because not only is it something that just annoys people in general, but two, it's also against the community guidelines of YouTube, and you can lose your channel by spamming other people's comments. So the best thing that you can do for self-promotion on YouTube for free is make good content. Like make good content, make good thumbnails, make good titles. And YouTube gives us the information in terms of our analytics to let us know how we're doing, the gauge on how we're doing on all of those, right? How are people engaging in my content? How are people enjoying the content itself through your analytics? And how are people clicking through the thumbnail when it's presented to them on YouTube versus the amount of promotion that YouTube is giving? So
here's the thing, like everybody wants a shortcut.
Sure.
Right? Everybody does. Everybody wants to grow faster. Everyone wants more views.
Well, in this
faster.
situation, he's just saying that just self promotion in general. He wasn't like
no. I'm not coming after him specifically.
Okay,
I'm just saying in general. Like so many people just want a shortcut. Like how can I grow faster? And because you just said make better content, and that's really the thing. Like. Yeah. And it's easier said than done. Like everybody, to just make better content.
Right.
Right, just make better content.
How to make $1 million? All you got to do is make a bunch of money.
Right. Just make better content.
Right.
But that's really the thing. Like if you can make videos that people respond to, if you really put in the time to learn how to make really sticky looking thumbnails, right, and good topics and good titles, like man, you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
You're absolutely going to get there.
Yeah, the consistency part of this, like one thing that a lot of people don't get when it comes to YouTube is that it does take time.
And that's the other thing.
Yeah, it does take time. And it is something that is a continual process of development.
Yes.
So it's not like you all of a sudden like arrive one day and you're like, hey, now everything is just working. Like you still have to keep going through those processes over and over again. You still have to keep trying to get better. You still have to keep trying to get a deeper understanding of your audience.
So here we go. You're almost at 500,000 subscribers.
Yep.
You're pulling up. You're sliding in Bo and Luke Duke style.
Yep.
To 500,000 subscribers.
I'm actually not sliding in. I'm actually going over the
super.
I'm jumping over the creek. Let's do it that way. It's much more fun.
Right,
yeah, and it just paused.
It just paused.
Just paused.
Waylon Jennings says,
"Yep," and he's
no,
like,
"I don't know about them." Duke.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about them Nimmin boys. I don't know about them Nimmin boys, but Nick's got about 37,000 more people left to go until he's got 500,000.
Here's my point, Luke. Here's my point. Would you be Bo or would you be Luke?
I don't know.
Would you have a crossbow hanging out of the car?
Yeah, probably.
Or would you be? I'd be driving.
Yeah, I would definitely be the crossbow guy.
Okay, I'd be driving.
Okay, so what does that put us?
Which one was it? Bo that usually uses a yeah. I think Bo's the driver.
Okay, yeah. So then I'm Luke. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so you're Luke.
Okay.
All right, so Luke.
Okay.
So you're pulling in. Actually, you're jumping the creek in Hazard County.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Hazard County, Kentucky.
Hazard County, Kentucky.
Okay.
In the General League.
All right.
Yeah, you're way over the creek on that one. It says. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. No. My question was.
I derailed him.
Derail.
No, so my point is this: you're at almost 500,000 subscribers.
We're going sideways up Nimmin Creek without a paddle.
That's right. How many views you have?
Over 20 million.
Over 20 million channel views. Almost 500,000 subscribers. And you're still learning. You are, and I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact because I know what he's doing.
Yeah.
You're still trying to make better thumbnails.
Right.
You're still working on being a better presenter in front of the camera. You're still finding the best ways to present, the best way to start your video, the best hooks.
Right.
Right. You're still trying to find the best ways to hand off at the end screen.
Right. I'm still going to Vid Summit and things like that in order to get more information so I can be better at what it is that I do.
Right. Like you're still sitting in on those sessions. You're still asking questions. That's my point. Like it doesn't end.
Right.
There isn't a finish line here. It's just that you continually try to get better. And no matter where you're at on the journey, there's still a ton of stuff to learn. Like even if you're getting 25% click-through rate and you've got 50 million impressions on it, I mean, that's fantastic, first of all.
Yeah.
But there's still room for improvement.
Right.
you can still make it better.
Yeah.
So you got to keep learning. It never ends. It just never. 20 million views, 500,000 subscribers, and you're still down in the trenches trying to like figure out how to take it up a step. So yeah, it never ends.
As soon as you stop, everything stops.
Yeah.
As soon as you stop trying to improve, then you're going to hit that wall, and then it's just not going to get any better.
Yeah. You have to keep. It doesn't matter if you're just starting today or if you've been doing the. Evan Carmichael was in here just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
He's continually just like up in his, right?
Always.
Everybody's looking for that next step. Everybody wants to level up no matter where you're at. And it doesn't end. It never ends. It's a hustle that never ever ends.
Zero Gravity says apparently having text in your thumbnails is a bad idea. It depends.
It depends.
That's where testing your thumbnails comes in really, really handy, because having text in your thumbnails in some cases is advantageous. In other cases, it works against you. So it just depends on your audience, and that's why testing your thumbnails is so important.
D Code says, but what really happened after that creek?
Oh yeah.
Generally,
well, once we cross 500, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
because that's where we're at. We're at that pause moment.
You're paused right there. Waylon Jennings.
Yep.
Man, that was such a great show.
Yeah.
Man.
It was. Here's the thing, Hybrid Steel, is it's not like Vid Summit isn't based on like Daryl's subscriber count. Like Daryl is like he works with some of the biggest channels on YouTube. He has a bunch of highly successful channels himself. He works with some major brands, all that stuff. Like it's way beyond subscriber count. Like his subscriber count, and I'm not speaking on his behalf because I don't know his perspective, but I'm going to guess that his subscriber count is at the very, very bottom of importance of his list of things that are important in terms of things that he's trying to accomplish. He's trying to change the world through content creators. So.
Yeah, Daryl's operating on a different level.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that because you just look at his
YouTube channel.
They look at his YouTube channel and say, okay, Daryl, he's legit operating on another level.
Right. That's kind of like in Hybrid Steel, because he's the one that said that. It's kind of like everybody looking at you and just saying like, oh, Hybrid just plays games. That's all he does. That's all he's good for. It's all he does. He just plays games, right? And based on how good he is at as a game is how good he is at life or something like that. You know, it's kind of like looking at that same exact thing. And I know you weren't being like serious about that, but I'm just saying
he's got like something like 20 channels or something that he's taken over 1 million subscribers
from 0 to over 1 million.
Ooh. Yeah, he's operating on a different level.
So here's the thing, Meet the Family, and I'm so glad you brought this up because this is something that we haven't talked about today, and I wanted to mention it. So Meet the Family says YouTube is taking away people's subscribers. YouTube took 20 subscribers from me, and I'm a new channel with small subscribers 2 days ago. Does anybody know why? Absolutely. If you go into your Creator Studio beta, you might just be making content on your phone. I'm not sure. But if you go into your YouTube Creator Studio beta, there's a really good chance that you have a blue strip at the very top, and it says that we are currently, something along the lines of, we are currently cleaning up subscriber counts, or we're currently cleaning up I can't remember the verbiage that they used or the terminology they used, but basically they tell you inside of the studio beta that they're in the process of cleaning up dormant and spam accounts on YouTube. So that's why if you noticed over the past, I think they started doing this like a week ago or a week and a half ago. So if you've noticed a big dip in your subscriber count over that time, that's basically what happened. That's what's up. In-flight music. Your ID? Yeah. Oh, okay. He just like jumped up and just like ran away. I'm like, whoa. In-flight music says, let's see here. They upload all the time. They've been on YouTube for a year. They're doing this for brand awareness for their music production. Very cool. Will live streaming hurt my channel? I made a separate channel for it, but I might combine it. Also, is it bad to live stream the same day I upload a video? I hope to... I hope to something to us my upload schedule and do live streams at night on the same day. Thanks in advance. So you need to basically feel this out with your audience. So I know, for example, like there's a channel, her YouTube channel is called Monica. She's a DJ and she does live sets and her audience just loves it. So like in her particular case, and I'm making her reference because she's in the music category as well. But like in her case, like her audience loves it. I watch her stuff as well. Like anytime she goes live, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to go, like whatever I'm doing, if I'm working or whatever, I got to turn on her live stream and listen to her do like a live set. Just because like, I dig her stuff. So it really comes down to how your audience responds to it. You can see here, people enjoy these live streams as well. So because of that, I keep doing them. Because, I think, is this good or bad for my channel? But I also think like what's good or bad for the audience as well. So because of that, we just continue to do the live streams just for the sake of, just connecting with everybody. One thing that I personally do though, And I'm not recommending that you do this, but I do recommend that you test and you see how people respond to your stuff. But one thing that I do recommend that you at least try, because we are doing this as well, is that I will stream, but then now I make the streams unlisted instead of keeping them live on my channel. And the reason for that is because we stream for multiple hours. And even though the streams are still accessible through the people that have the notifications turned on and they get the emails from YouTube saying that we are live, and through the Twitter posts and things like that, like there's still avenues to get to the live stream, but we basically make them unlisted because when YouTube is suggesting content from my channel, I want them to be suggesting content that is easier to consume instead of suggesting a hour and a half or 2 hours or 6 hour live stream to somebody. Yeah. Just because I know when they come into that live stream, they're going to be less likely to fully engage in the channel versus a piece of YouTube content that like straight up helps people within a few minutes, where the live stream, sometimes these can take a little bit of time to get going. So because of that, I'm unlisting them to where we're still doing them, but they are unlisted because, again, I want YouTube to be promoting my actual video content and not my live stream content.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend that you experiment with that yourself as well.
Back to testing. It's funny how all this stuff comes right back to testing.
It does. Really, if you take all this stuff and you nutshell it, right, you've got...
Nutshell it. I like the sound of that.
We've got look in your stats, see how people are responding to your stuff, test everything on your channel. Everything. Until you keep finding things that work, improve your skill sets over and over again, and repeat. Like that's it, right? Keep getting better, keep going, be patient, test as much as possible. And
always be testing. That's the thing, man.
ABT. ABT, always BBT testing.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is you just don't know what's going to work, and your instinct sometimes is completely wrong. Like you're like, hey, I don't think this thumbnail is going to do very well, and you put it up, and it's like, whoa, right? Like in this, so this happens in our Discord quite a bit. Is you see people like, hey, what are my thumbnails? Look at my thumbnails. What do you think about my thumbnails? And then I hit a super chat.
Save your light. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Hey, what do you think about my thumbnails? And it's really hard to give an honest opinion on a thumbnail when you're looking at an individual thumbnail.
And you don't know what the video content's about. You don't know what the title's going to be.
You don't know what the demo, like who's your target audience? Right. I guarantee it's probably not going to be me. Right. So when you're looking at a single thumbnail, what do you think about my thumbnail? Yeah, you can give you you know what, your font's difficult to read, or maybe the text is going to get covered by the timestamp. There's little things that you can say, but generally speaking, like you have to look at the thumbnails as a whole against all the other thumbnails that it's competing against. When you put it in a vacuum, it doesn't matter how it looks. Right. The only thing that matters is how it looks against those other thumbnails, and is it going to get that click or that tap? Right. That's the only thing that matters.
And the only way that you find that out for certain
is by testing it.
Is to publish your video with that thumbnail in there.
Yeah, put it up, publish it, see how it does, and then if it's not performing well, change it. And if that doesn't perform well, change it again.
Addicted to Profit says, it says that I've made over $500 in revenue, but I have never seen anything from YouTube. What should I do to get paid? So the very first thing is you need to just reach out to their support. So you need to make sure that you have everything connected on the back end so that you can get paid, because it could just be something to where like your payment method isn't filled in. Right. So I would definitely go in and make sure that your payment method is filled in. And if it is, but you're still not getting paid, you also want to make sure that you check your threshold. And you also want to contact them in the event that like your threshold is, under 500 and that that everything is connected the way that it should be. You want to basically contact them through their support system there, and basically just try to figure out what the problem is there, because they'll be able to let you know quickly.
Hey, Josephine. How's it going?
Josephine, what's up? Nice to see you.
Are they saying they can't leave a super chat?
Missed you at Vid Summit. No, they're saying that they have $500 in their AdSense, but they haven't gotten it. So they just want to know what they need to do to get paid. Okay, next question from the form down in the description is from Coco Lane. Sounds like a Beatles song, doesn't it? It does. Coco Lane says, what kind of channel do you have? I've got a spirituality channel, and the goal of the channel is to market my online school. Very cool. What's the best way to use Facebook live streaming to help a new YouTube channel? Is that even a good strategy? I want to start a weekly live show, and I want to use Facebook to promote my YouTube channel. Thanks so much. If you're already doing a live stream on Facebook, then just mention your YouTube channel, encourage people to go over there.
Hey, lucky day.
Another thing that you can do in that situation is you can have your Facebook live stream, and then you can say, hey, I'm going to continue this conversation representation over on my YouTube channel.
Thanks,
because, I've been here on Facebook for half an hour, and I'm going to basically do the next half an hour on my YouTube channel. So here's a link to my YouTube channel. Follow me over there so we can do that. But one thing that I would also keep in mind is people are on Facebook doing the Facebook thing, and it's going to be relatively difficult to get them to hop over. You'll be able to get some people over there, but for the most part, it's going to be a relatively difficult jump to make. And because of that, you might want to think, okay, well, should if you're already doing a live stream on Facebook and it's already part of what you do, then I would talk about your YouTube channel. And anytime that you go live on YouTube, I'd let people know that you have your YouTube channel. But if you're trying to grow on YouTube, I would really just focus on what it is that you're doing on YouTube and focus on doing some of that activity on YouTube itself, because that is, like the people that are already on YouTube, those are the people that you're wanting to pull in.
I have never, not once, not twice, I've never in the history
3 times
of what? No, I've never watched a live stream on Facebook and said, "Oh, I'm going to go over to the YouTube channel."
Mm-hmm.
Not one time have I ever done that. Usually, whatever platform I'm on, if I catch them live there, that's the platform that I watch them on. And I generally don't follow. I usually don't try. Like, I would have to. Hey, Tobias, I would have to absolutely just fall in love with that creator immediately to go, oh my God, I got to follow them everywhere.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, like if I'm on that platform, it's because I want to be on that platform, right? Like whatever it is, I'm laying in bed, I'm scrolling through Instagram, boom, they're live on Instagram. I'm staying on Instagram.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've went over a few times, but it hasn't been a lot. Just because same exact thing. Like if I was just a normal consumer, I don't think that I would. But because I'm into the whole YouTube thing, like sometimes I'll go over just to be like, oh, I wonder what they're doing over on YouTube, just out of curiosity.
I've never done it.
But it's definitely not something that I went because they said, hey, go check out. Because they said, hey, go check me out there or anything like that. Like it's more of like, oh, they mentioned they have a YouTube channel, so I'm just going to go see what it is that they're doing over on YouTube to see how it compares to what they're doing on Facebook.
Now, I don't stream on Facebook. I probably should.
I have. Owen and I, we did that for like over a year, 2 years maybe.
I think in terms of brandability, like if you're trying to reach different audiences, I think you should definitely do it.
Meet them
right?
where they're at.
Meet your audience where they're at. If people are hanging out on Twitter, you want to stream on Periscope, which automatically streams to Twitter. Do that. If you want to build your brand on Facebook, do that. If you want to build your brand on Instagram, put it all the places if you want to.
Yeah.
Test it out, see where you get a response. I should be taking my own advice on that. But you know what? Like Facebook's just not important to me.
Yeah.
It probably should be, but it's just not.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. I'm the same exact way.
I don't like it. I don't like Facebook as a platform.
If there's a platform based on my personality, if there's a platform that I don't get into, then I'm not going to put content there because I don't even care to open it in the first place. And if I don't care to open it in the first place, I'm not going to be excited about putting content there. And like with YouTube, I love YouTube. I spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos. I make YouTube videos myself, all that good stuff. It's perfect. I enjoy Instagram. Sometimes I go in little spurts to where I'm uploading stuff to Instagram, doing stories here and there and that kind of stuff because I enjoy Instagram. I spend a decent amount of time on Instagram too, just looking at stuff. But like if it's a platform that I'm not into myself, I'm not going to go there just for the sake of going there, hoping that I can get followers there. Yeah.
For me, Facebook is one of those apps to where I only open it occasionally, just to see if there's something I need to reply to. Like I legit do not like Facebook.
I'm the same way.
Is there anybody else in the chat that doesn't like Facebook? Type in yes if you hate Facebook.
Addicted to Profit says, I love Facebook groups for sales with no fees, and I do promote there too. Right, you're using it for professional reasons. So that's a totally different thing than just going on Facebook for the sake of like hanging out on Facebook, right? Because you're using it as a tool. And we're kind of the same way. So it's like, like there's some Facebook groups that I really enjoy interacting in, but like I'm not excited. Like I don't open up Facebook and go like, oh, I got to go check these groups to see what the posts are. I open up Facebook and I'm like, hey, has anybody tagged me here? Let me check my notifications, see if there's any tags I need to respond to. And then I'll typically go check into like 1 or 2 groups and then I'm out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way.
So I'll tell you what groups I check into. My Nimmin ID VIP. For channel members for here, I check into Brian G. Johnson's Tube Ritual. I'll check into Daryl Eves, Video Makers and Marketers. And sometimes, not even all the time, I'll check into my own group, which is the YouTube and video making tips. But I enjoy Tube Ritual, and for the groups that aren't my channel members, I enjoy Tube Ritual and Video Makers and Marketers the most, just because I get the most value out of there, and they're just like the best organized for what it is that we do. So that's where I personally hang out.
I'm not into Facebook any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like to me, I just don't like it. I don't know.
Oh, Picard says still waiting for your reply on Facebook. See, like here's a clear example, right?
Yeah. I just don't like it, man. Like I don't feel like it's and this is my problem with LinkedIn, and I know I need to be on LinkedIn. I know it. I know it.
Same here. But
like,
but it's not
like.
In
here's
my,
the thing.
Yeah.
I'll throw Facebook under the bus for LinkedIn. I just haven't come up with a good content strategy yet for LinkedIn, and that's
I really want to do, like, after Vid Summit, I really want to get into Instagram stories. I'm still in that thing also, like you are with LinkedIn, trying to figure out like what is it I want to do there.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing. So here's the thing, right? Like it's easy to say I don't know what my content strategy is going to be yet for LinkedIn, but at the same time, if you were to ask me what should be my content strategy for LinkedIn, I would say just put something up, figured out along the way. Right? Like sometimes you need to take your own advice on that, right? But you know, it's like, hey Mike, how's it going? It's just one of those things like Facebook, I just don't feel it. Like it doesn't feel like everything about Facebook feels wrong. You ever like put on your right shoe on your left foot? And it just feels like, like, you know, right away as you're putting it on, it's just like, I've got the wrong shoe on. Like, that's what Facebook feels like to me. It feels wrong. And I know I'm in the minority there because it's a giant.
And what's update says, is Reddit live streaming worth doing? I didn't even know that you could live stream on Reddit.
Whoa.
That might just be a game changer because I didn't know you could live stream on Reddit. I personally, like, I'm on Reddit.
Hold on.
More than I'm anywhere.
I'm looking this up right now. If Reddit has a live stream,
guess who's going to start live streaming on Reddit probably after this live stream?
Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now. Hold on
please do.
Thank
Reddit
you. Live streaming. Yeah, we're going to be live on Reddit here.
Yeah. So, and we've already got like a subreddit and all that stuff. I just don't have anybody to help us with it. Do they have it? Yeah, I don't have anybody to help us with it. Do they really?
It's called Reddit Public Access Network.
So is it like, can you stream to like your own?
Hold on, you just keep talking. Okay. I'm going to figure this out. Hold on.
So yeah, the Nimmin after party, that'd be a great place for it. So is there anybody here that is like really? Oh, excuse me.
What?
That is really. I'm like Rick. Is there anybody? Pickle Rick. Is there anybody here?
Rick and Morty season 4.
I know it's coming. Yeah, it is.
Right?
It's coming.
Can we just get like a yes for Rick and Morty season 4?
So basically,
hey Rick, I don't think this is a good idea, Rick.
Right. So basically, we have a subreddit, and I got a name. It's a really good name for a subreddit, and I've had it for a while, but I don't have.
This is great.
I don't have anybody that that can help me actually like run the subreddit. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're familiar with subreddit and you're familiar with, if you're familiar with Reddit and you are familiar with the subreddits and like how they work and how to actually add things to them, in terms of like, you know, graphically, in terms of, you know, like how to add the different rules and flares and all that good stuff. Please shoot me an email and let me know, because I'm looking for somebody to help me with that, because I have tons of really good ideas for that'll help content creators in a massive way. I just need to get that part taken care of. So if you have any of those skills, definitely reach out and let me know.
So this search result, it says Reddit now lets you live stream. What could go wrong?
Nice.
Hold on here. Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that.
Nice.
So apparently it's kind of limited, but I'm looking into this right now as we.
Yeah, so on the Addicted to Profit says they suggest not promoting your own videos on Reddit, so that defeats the purpose for me. Yeah, if you're making sales videos, then it's probably not going to do well. But I know that depending on the type of content that you make, Reddit can be like an amazing traffic source, big time. Depending on the type of content that you make. Like, for example, there's a guy, he's an animator, and he just did animations. He made 10 videos, and he did animations on Marvel. Like as the whole Marvel universe, as a different character, or as the different movies were coming out over the course of a year. And he made, I think it was like 9 or 10 different videos, and he only shared them on Reddit, and he got over 200 and something thousand subscribers, just sharing those on Reddit, and like millions of views on each of the videos and all that stuff, which also helped YouTube put them out and all that stuff. But it's just kind of a big snowball that happened because of Reddit. Yeah, apparently you can live stream on Reddit, but it's not like localized to like a specific subreddit, or yeah, it is. It's called like RPan or Pan, or like. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely look into that. Yeah, Handyman 007 says they've been on YouTube for 6 months. They make how-to content. The goal of the channel is money. Tips for a DIY channel. What can be my differentiator? I have a dual niche, home DIY, and helping other aspiring content creators. Will this approach work for me in the long run? I think it's a temporary thing with the live streaming with Reddit. Oh, okay. I think it was a short thing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh. So I'm going to look at your channel here really quick, just to answer this question, Handyman DIY. So if you are, let's see, you're fixing fun stuff around your home and on YouTube. So basically here I've got that your popular videos are all home-based videos. and you've got like let's see here, 30 views on this. Okay, so yeah, with what you're doing, like you're mixing things that are just not even closely related. So like you have here, like, you know, how to make pizza at home, and like how to restore your kitchen sink, and then another one on like making custom YouTube thumbnails. So you're definitely going to be working against yourself in this situation, and the reason for that is because the people that are coming in for DIY stuff, like you're like when you serve them a video on like how to make thumbnails, like that's like there's no connection there between those people. So because of that, I would definitely just pick one and run with whichever one that is.
Yeah, I think it's a temporary thing with Reddit.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I was about to like, all right, guys, have a good day, and then we're out over on there on Reddit. But can you imagine? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but if you do know how to run like subreddits and things like that, definitely just shoot me an email, asknimmin@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and just let me know, just because I'd love to have that conversation and see how we could, you know, work together on that. Just because I would absolutely love to get that going, because there's a couple subreddits that are really good. And I think that we could make one better. I just need help in order to do it. So,
can you imagine the dumpster fire of a live comment area on Reddit?
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god, that would be outrageous.
It would be brutal.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, so let's look at Save Your Light.
All right.
Because I forgot that we were doing this.
Am I pulling them up right now? Okay, boom.
Yep,
sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, this is how we roll. We forget sometimes. Our apologies.
We're very jet lagged, by the way.
Yeah, we are. So, okay, so let's see here. Okay, so games, fun, stupidity, Save Your Light. Let's see here. Save Your Light, games, fun, stupidity. Okay, so you're making gaming videos. You're making fun videos. Not sure what the stupidity part is. Let me scroll down.
They added that for us.
Oh, the stupidity? Yeah, like these guys are stupid, right? Okay, my all-time favorite YouTubers. Okay. So as I scroll down your channel page here, the very first thing to keep in mind is like you have some videos here. I'm not sure if these are live streams or if they're just like normal gameplays, but like if you're uploading like a 26-minute video, but you haven't, I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, you know, people can come in and they can respond to this, but I would definitely look in your retention in these long videos. And I would see how people are actually responding to the links of these, because, you know, like a 26-minute video, if done well, and like if you're entertaining and all that stuff, then people can watch. But since you have 10 views on this, I'm guessing that people are not responding to the thumbnail, or they are not responding to the actual content itself, because you have like 658 subscribers on your channel, but like you're not getting that many views here, in terms of, you know, like with a smaller channel like this, 658 subscribers, like you should be getting more views than what you're getting on these videos. So I would definitely say to go in and look how people are responding to these videos. Like if you see in your audience retention, if you see a graph that looks, here, let me do this. If you see a graph that looks something like this when your video starts, then I would definitely spend some time working on this area. Because this is a really long video, I'm going to guess that your graph probably looks something like this. And then it'll go down like that. So I would definitely look and just kind of confirm that. But if that's not the case, if you're, you know, if it looks something like this, right? Then in that case, that's really not that bad. So in that case, like I would start looking to see how people are responding to the thumbnails then. And I would also look and try to think of a better way to do your thumbnails, because here, or I mean, not your thumbnails, but your titles and your thumbnails. Like here you have Subnautic Stream Episode 4. So here you're basically letting people know what the video is about, but there's no real like intriguing thing going on here. Like you have to think, when people are getting served this package right here on YouTube of your thumbnail and your title, like one thing that you have to consider is
intrigue them.
Yeah, intrigue them. Like your job as a content creator, very step number one is I got to get people to click on this. So what do I have to do to get people to click on this? Sure, telling people what the video is about is one way, but also within telling people what the video is about, you also want to put in some elements that will make people say, oh, I need to see this, or this is something that interests me, or something along those lines, to actually pull people into what it is that you're doing. Another thing that I see also is it looks like you're mixing up the different games that you play, which is totally fine. But one thing that I would also start doing is I would start looking at like over the course of, like a month or so, I would start looking and I would be like, okay, when I put out Resident Evil videos, people are responding in this way. When I put out videos on this other, Subnautica, people are responding in this way. And I would start fine tuning the specific games, because one thing that you don't want to do is if people are responding to these more, you don't want to be serving them these, right? Because if you can make a channel that is focused on one for right now, just to get it started and get that ball rolling, if you can make a channel that's focused on like one game, then what happens is when people come in and they see that one game and you have a bunch of videos on that game, you're also increasing the value of your channel as a whole for that viewer, which can also encourage them to subscribe. So like when it comes to generating subscribers on your channel, first you got to get the views, right? Which is why I was saying that it's really important to make sure that you're going in and seeing how these videos perform, and also that you work on your titles and thumbnails as a whole. But you also, once you do that, you also got to think about the actual content that you're putting out. And you have to think, okay, with the content that I'm putting out, how valuable would my channel be to a potential viewer? And what I mean by that is when they come and they look at your channel and they see the videos that you've put out in the past, then in that particular case, that's going to show them like, hey, is this something that I should subscribe to? Is this something that's going to add value to me in the future and right now, based on what it is that they've done in the past? So because of that, I would really start thinking of the actual content that you're putting out and how you're putting the content out, as well as your titles and thumbnails, because you want to make sure that you're creating a resource of some type for people. And it's not like a how-to resource, but just a resource for entertainment. If your games are like, if you're doing like Let's Plays and you're doing it in an entertaining way, then in that case, you want to be that entertainment resource for people, right? And with that, you want to make sure that if you're going to be a resource for people, that you're also being a resource for the specific games that they're interested in. So just as a heads up, like, as I'm telling you this information, like, remember, you're just getting the ball rolling here. So, you do have that room to experiment, and you can keep experimenting like this, and then just keep trying to make your thumbnails and titles better until a video of yours does pop, and then, make another video that's similar, and then another video that's similar. But at the end of the day, like, the very first thing that you need to start looking at is you need to start looking at how long your videos are. I'm not sure if these, actually, they're not live streams, so these are actual videos. So you need to look at this 26-minute video and think, how can I edit this down to where it's a little bit more consumable, as long as your retention reports say that they're not responding to it well? How can I limit this, or how can I cut this down and edit this video in a way to where it's a little bit more consumable? Maybe it's a little bit more entertaining if it's not currently, and your retention is going to tell you that. And more importantly, how can I make titles that are going to entice people to want to click on my thumbnail? Like, I feel so accomplished, Subnautica. Like, maybe Subnautica people would respond to that, but it doesn't seem that way. So what you need to think about is, like, how can I make this about the viewer? How can I make this something to where the viewers are going to say, wow, this is something I need to click on. It's not I feel so accomplished, because you feeling so accomplished. In order for somebody to care about that, they have to know who I is, right? They have to know who you are. So because of that, make it more about the viewer than about yourself, especially right now. Once you have an audience built in, you can get a little bit more flexible on that. But for right now, I would really focus it on what the viewer is going to get out of the video, and less about, will I get a monster slayer, right? And with that too, like, don't get me wrong, I know that learning how to write titles and all that stuff, I know it's a process.
It's a skill, man.
I know it's a skill that you develop over time. Like, for example, if I started making gaming content, I wouldn't nail it right away, right? What I would do is I would go in and I would experiment, and I would try to figure out the titles that my audience responds to. And that would take me a nice handful of videos in order to make that happen. But I would figure it out over time, and then I would be able to I would know the videos that I needed to make in order for people to keep coming back into my channel. So a little side tip for you here, since you do have a gaming channel. One thing that typically works out good for gaming channels, and you might have some on here, I'm not for sure, but one thing that typically works out good for gaming channels is making guides. So this is something a friend of mine has done with success on his channel. This is something that people recommend in the gaming communities all over the internet as well, on Reddit and places, is making guides. And the guides are basically to where you highlight a specific character and you break down the information of them. You show all their special moves, things like that. Showing people how to beat certain levels is also something that's effective. Showing people how to beat certain bosses or characters or whatever, and also showing people like little tricks they can do or little hidden gems in games and things like that. Those are things that are also effective, because, like, I see that you're making these longer videos, but these short ones, hopefully these short ones are more of the type of content that is adding more value to the viewer than just watching a gameplay, because ultimately that's how you're going to end up pulling in the most people. And what you want to do if you want to do gameplay videos is you want to mix in, hey, these are videos that are directly made for adding value to the viewer in terms of helping them in some way. And then these other videos, these gameplays, I'm doing these for the sake of entertaining that same viewer. But you want to make sure that all of this stuff is in alignment with a particular type of viewer that you're trying to reach. So a lot of information there for you to carry away, but I hope that was helpful for you in some way.
So Hybrid says, Nick, is there a super chat for Leo Fire? I think they got skipped.
Okay.
Apologies, Leo Fire. So yeah, what happens sometimes is the super chats come in faster and we don't catch them all, so we actually have to go back and see them.
So Tobias Frisk, here's one. Tobias Frisk says, love your content. Request D doing more music. Nice, from your beatbox. Save Your Light also dropped another $1 super chat. Thank you for that, Save Your Light. And Leo Fire says, I have 1,000 subs when monetized before watch minutes or after. You have to have it before you monetize. Yeah, so you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can monetize your channel.
And is it 4,000 hours watch time too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4,000 hours of watch time.
4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And then you apply.
So Sweeney Dunstan right here says, Nick is exactly right. I've been doing this with gaming and it works 100%. Yeah, so doing like the guides and you know, basically mixing in content that is going to pull people in is really important, because just making content and throwing content up isn't going to help you get anywhere, but mixing in what it is that you want to do with what it is that serves viewers, like that's where you really win, because then you serve yourself, you know, creatively, but then you also serve the viewers in terms of, you know, hey, I'm doing things that will actually pull people into the channel, that will introduce people to the channel. So with all of that said, I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the live stream today. It has been nice to be back here. We'll be back here.
We did a daytime stream.
We did.
Daytime for us.
Yeah, and it actually went okay. Yeah, I was like, hey, I wonder if anybody's going to show up, right? So it's like we still have those problems too, just like you do, right? So it's like we're getting ready to go live, and I'm telling D, I'm like, yeah, I hope this time zone isn't bad. I hope we got some people showing up in the stream, and we absolutely did. So thanks for swinging by. Hope that you got some value out of the live stream today. D, it was awesome to be back here streaming again. And next week we will be live at 9 a.m. Eastern time, as long as we are properly sleep adjusted and whatnot, depending on how that whole thing goes.
So so Jevin Dovey's coming into town.
Yeah, Jevin Dovey's coming to town.
He's coming with Levi Allen. So it's Jevin Dovey.
See, your brain's coming apart too. Yeah.
Jevin Dovey and Levi Allen are both coming into Thailand.
So we're going to try to do a surprise stream. This is just between us, because this is going to be unlisted.
Right.
So here's the deal. So we're going to try to do a surprise stream with them on here. So just talking about, you know, what it is that they do and all the cool stuff that they're into. Like YouTube is actually paying for them to come to Thailand and shoot some really cool stuff. And they're going to give you some insights and all that stuff. So we're going to try to get them on here and get them sharing that kind of information. So that's between us. Don't tell anybody else.
Yeah. It'll probably be a pop-up little surprise stream.
Just a random bam.
It'll be a random thing. Mm-hmm. It'll probably happen on either the 6th or 7th. Mm-hmm. Just as a heads up, the 6th or the 7th, it might happen.
Yeah, I think we have between the 6th and the 11th or something like that in terms of like the range. Yeah.
Okay.
But I know that he has certain things that he has to do, so I'm not 100% sure on the day. But yeah, we're going to try to work it out.
Yeah.
However,
I'm excited for that.
Me too.
Both of those guys are so rad. Looking forward to it.
So again, thank you so much for hanging out. We appreciate it, and hopefully you got some value here in the live stream today. For all the new channel members, thank you. Remember to head over to the Facebook group. Just go to Facebook and look for Nimmin VIP. Make sure you fill out everything, because I verify on the way in. And D,
spade and neuter your pets, and we're stopping right now.
Thanks for watching Nimmin Live, brought to you by TubeBuddy. Remember to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Have a great week.